And as I'm sure you all recall last week, as you made your way out of the town, you found yourselves making it to Mephisto's home lair. You had yourself a wonderful time there after taking on what seems to be a fairly fair deal in both directions, though, as Isaac would have pointed out, giving someone reign over an entire plane of existence when you just get a soul in return, that's definitely an unbalanced deal. By wide and well, Gargoth is getting off good on this deal. But that was how that was set up. You were then entrusted with a mission to go find a shaman, with a compass given to you pointing towards their location, which would be clicked to return back to Mephistar. You know, make life a little easier in these very, very rough times. As you all made your way, though, you soon found your ship under attack by strange forces. Zariel, which threw Zariel for a loop, since Zariel was on the boat, but also Zariel was in midair. 2 Zariels for the price of 1. Was this a buy one, get one special? Regardless, you fended her off long enough to find yourselves chased by an abyssal beast like you've never seen. A crystal dragon, an ancient crystal dragon, the DM says, to break the fourth wall. Though, since the party was ahead and Zariel's and her clockwork monster were quick to leave, you outrun the dragon and outpaced it. Time would soon move on forward. A few more hours passed by, and in the distance up ahead, as I had started to hint to last game, you can see the edges of a glacier floating in the water. Very large, very tall, and very wide. Sheer cliffs around all the sides. What might be a pain, if not strictly for the fact that you had a flying machine fully repaired. Again, hat tip for Jade on that one from last week. It's like, fine, you roll me a 20, and you get lucky, and he rolls a 20. It's like, son of a, you never say to the rogue, you roll this, because they'll do it. They'll do it. With that, you do have enough time to enjoy a long rest before your arrival. And I'm going to put it to 8 in the morning of the next day, though day and night time in Kania, as we know, means very little overall. The sky always a bleak, cold reminder of the frozen hellscape you find yourself within. And to answer some basic questions you might be tingling on your brains, there isn't too bad of a storm right now. You could in fact fly your ship itself to the peak of this mountain, take a landing and take an easy route in. Or you could land outside and take your time climbing up the side of this mountain. Scaling it looks tricky, but not too bad. Lots of checks, lots of chances for exhaustion.
I'm sorry, you said we got a chance for a long rest, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I am saying that your long rest ended at 8 in the morning, since time was working out, and I've also pushed it forward, so it's now the 14th of Nighthall.
Perfect. Okay.
Milkrace takes a long rest. I'm going to go ahead and clear the chat window as well, just so the game runs a bit smoother for everybody.
I think we just fly up top, personally.
Yeah, sounds fine to me. At some point in the long rest, I would have stood up.
Yep. You just fix that on your menu. Here we go.
Maybe you decided that you're just gonna nap there for the entire.
Yeah.
The joke had to be said. The joke, Alec, why are you still lying down? I can't move. I'm stuck. Help me.
Lulu comes up from below deck, yawning as she does, flapping her little ears on her head. She looks over towards Alec, who's on the ground. What's the matter with you there, buddy? I swear to God, you've been laying on your back for like a week. Here, let me help you up. And she's pushing her head against your back and giving all she's got.
Alec ineffectually tries to wiggle off his back. He's like a turtle.
Wait, have you been becoming a turtle too much?
I'm a turtle in time.
Oh Turtles in time. Bum, bum, bum. So, the mountain, as mentioned, as you approach with your ship, The weather doesn't turn very turbulent. A small snow is falling from the air. Lulu sticking her tongue out at one point with a big grin on her face, catching snowflakes on her tongue, nodding once and saying, "Oh, it's so nice, it's not a flippin' blizzard. It's either clear skies or hell skies. I mean, well, oh right, yeah, if left hell. Never mind, that makes sense." But given as far out as you've flown away, the turbulent winds and rains and snow do not appear to have come this far with you. You can see what appears to be the ruins of maybe a town or a village or something of the sort, long since blown away. At the very top, what appears to be an altar, and a figure standing near it, ice and snow encapsulating it all. "Bring the ship in for a landing," the DM says as he hovers over the map.
I
It'd
say
be
yes.
real dick move if we were to go, no, let's go east. So Alex dead.
Oh look, that crystal
really
dragon
character.
showed back up. Oh my. So let me go ahead and swap the map over as your ship spins around and comes down for a slow landing on the only place that appears to have any vestige of existence anymore. Firmly frozen near an altar at the top, you see, with glowing blue eyes, frozen to the ice, a rather familiar looking face. Something there you've seen before, but you're not quite sure what from such a distance. Of course, as you approach and all that, you're all more than welcome to do perception checks and blah blah blah. But besides these ice blue eyes that continue to shine as phantasms of spirits spin around, Alec with a big 26 would be looking from the boat. Jade's on the same par too, but Alec got the first roll, so Dan
My
gets.
Beyond.
What was that, Kieran?
Sorry, I was saying my Beyond 20 didn't kick in. I apparently got a 20 total result.
Oh, so
13 on my dice, but yeah. I'm going to see if I
Actually-
can get the 20 working again.
I think your character is the only one, and Bellamy, who wouldn't actually be able to do this perception check. Because as Alex stares and gives a glance, he hears a familiar voice echo through his ears for but a brief moment. "Oh, hello, dearie.
Maggie?
That female shaman bears a striking resemblance to Maggie. Or maybe the other sister. The two of them sort of looked a little bit the same. Well, what can I say? Apparently, good things come in threes.
Guys, I think it's Maggie or a sister.
Oh, it would help if I had your minis on the map. Just give me a second here.
Oh, by the way, because we're on a snowy map here, it wasn't until the last few days that walking in the snows actually bothered me, but it's a lot more difficult than you would think. It's enough work to tire Fergus out, and that's saying a lot.
I don't know why, but I thought you meant like your character. I'm like, you know, he has like immunity to cold, but I think still the snow would bother. I don't know why it took me a while to realize you were talking about an actual.
Well, I add my D&D characters. After every long rest, IRL, I choose which one I want to be.
He was Alistair for a little bit last night.
Oh yeah, why was I doing that?
You know, if Dean does do the
I don't remember.
if you do the DM route, you're gonna have a lot more voices spinning around. Poor Jillian.
He already has a lot. Listen, dude. There's plenty.
That was really
Four
funny.
voices today.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. You go ahead.
That was really funny the other day when he was trying to be Alex, but he was being, I think Alistair was the father's name.
Yeah.
That was really funny to watch because you were hating it.
It's just that keyword, like, Alistair is a cleric of Mistress, so as soon as I saw that and was thinking of questions to ask, because, you know, Alistair's a skull, I just could not escape. Just could not escape that.
Oh, I completely understand. It makes sense, but it was funny to watch you struggle.
Oh yeah, I would totally laugh at me as well.
Just so we're clear, I'm not a good person.
I'd be disappointed if you were, quite frankly.
Oh, pardon me. So then, with this area set up and everybody staying back on the ship, including Bellamy, because apparently Duga has a splinter and she's like, I have to take care of this. You guys get on ahead. I'll help. Though, for anything that happens, she's there with you. I just need a reason for Courtney to not be chatting at the moment where her internet was knocked out by the storm. You know. Because literally when she shows up, her character's just walking back up towards the group of you. It works perfect. But you find yourselves on this snowy summit, with Lulu on the ground still walking around with her tongue out, and Zariel watching her as she goes. Zariel gives a look towards Flux, since Flux and Zariel seem to be the ones who take care of Lulu the most, giving like the point of, you see where you watch her going, I'm watching, you watching, I'm watching too, you know? That whole, we gotta take care of this one glance.
It's mom and dad watching the baby.
Kinda. I think more like more similar to Dean and Jillian watching the dog. Lulu starts chewing on the side of the ship. Don't eat that!
Yeah, why is it so quiet? Where is she? What's she doing?
She's out of sight and it's quiet. This can't be good.
Hell wasps. Oh no. Looks like just have them kidnap her. And I'm like, I gotta move her over here first at least. Come on.
She's either up to mischief or being kidnapped. It's one of the two. It's always one of the two.
Yep. The angel guy kidnapped her. He's like, I got the plans now. Then go steal the armor. I'm unstoppable now. And the armor's like, you? Oh, good times. So, frozen night hag up by an altar on the top of a mountain on the outreaches of Kanya, in the coldest, darkest, dankest regions of hell.
Alistair will... Oh no, fuck, I've done it, John! What have you done?
Well played. Well played, Dean.
Alistair will have a moment as he looks up to the stars, wherever he finds himself sleeping, as he thinks to himself, God, I hope that boy of mine isn't getting his ass kicked by a night hag.
Alec will jump out of the ship and start to approach.
No crates will kind of fly along beside him.
Yeah. Well, I figure we should probably go.
You can feel free to freely move your minis around the map. I don't have any movement restrictions on this one. There's no real draw lines and you all have full vision. And nothing seems to be drawing attention. Nothing seems to be noticing, and nothing seems to be jumping at you as you make your way around.
Would I be correct in assuming the night hag's like up here somewhere?
Yep, right up here at the altar.
I take it there's no tracks of other foot traffic as we go up.
Nothing you notice off the top of your head, though you are more than welcome to do a survival check. You or anyone with it trained, of course.
Oh, I think I have it trained, but I feel like Jade does too, and he's a lot better.
No, I do not.
Oh, okay. And he mixed up with the other tabaxi.
Oh my.
Oh, nope.
Flux is distracted by Alec, who's presently tilting his back like, you know what, I'm gonna try this Lulu thing and catch a snowflake on his tongue.
You got one better on the dice roll than me, Jillian, so...
Oh, good lord.
You know.
With a 14, no, you do not see any signs of tracks, movements, or anything in this area. Your footprints being some of the first in a long time from what you can tell. Though the falling snow is fairly quick to start to fill them back in, as is the nature of this cold plane of hell. with Flux's 9 on survival. She doesn't notice as Lulu bumps into the back of her leg while catching snowflakes and go, sorry, Fulminoxus, I did not mean to bump into you, but I'm just having me a little bit too much fun. Oh, look, and she grabs one in midair with a bite. She goes, oh, that was a tasty one, and keeps going.
Lulu is too precious.
Alec,
Wait,
meanwhile,
they have different tastes, Lulu? Let's sidetrack. Focus on the hag. Okay, let's do this.
Lulu's like, I can dream. I'm having a good time. She just keeps going after snowflakes. As for the night hag, Alec is standing directly before her frozen form, eyes shining with power and magic, though the body frozen stiff as a solid sheet of ice almost. Not an inch of movement from her as you stand eye to eye.
So she's like frozen in place, like
She's a
trapped.
hagsicle.
Hagstickle.
She's not covered in ice. She's just physically entirely frozen. The very bases of her leg and back somewhat frozen to the ground in the areas around her, of course, but nothing too crazy.
Are you okay, Maggie? Is this you, Maggie? A different version of Maggie, or are you a sister?
You gain no response from the frozen body in front of you.
I think that thought and see if there's a response, because you said it was in my head, right?
Pardon?
Well, you said that I heard a faint whisper of hello, dearies.
Oh, that was
so
essentially your character's memory tickling yourself.
Oh, right. Okay,
Having a
sorry.
little fun
I
with
thought
that,
it
sorry.
was.
I should have been clearer.
Oh,
Sorry, I
no worries.
have to be right back real quick. Sorry.
Sure thing. I will say Isaac is able to confirm that her eyes are actively magical. I mean, that's probably no surprise for the druid either, who's like, oh yeah, definitely, but Isaac being a wizard, it'd be a glance and he'd be like, that's active magic, whatever's going on.
Right. Okay. So we know that there's definitely magic afoot. I can't think off the top of my head if this sounds like a spell effect to like freeze someone's stuff. Oh,
Can I make an Arcana check to see if I can?
we do know that there was a devil appeared to us once from Cania, and he had to pour boiling water on himself to talk to us.
Lulu
Does that
pauses.
seem like this?
She looks over, she goes, oh yeah, I remember that. That was with that weird glassy, glossy mirror thingy of you remember, right, Sarah? Oh wait, no, you weren't there. You remember it, right, Flux? Headbutts Flux in the side of the leg.
I remember.
Zariel pouts a little bit, mutters something about never going near that mirror. Though, yes, there was one. He would boil boiling water over his face, a Cambion, who would come and speak on behalf of Mephisto ever so long ago. Before you shattered through that mirror to come here in the first place. He would pour a boiling kettle over his face to thaw it, given that you're dealing with negative 60, 70 degrees Celsius here. But given the magical capacities the players have, we've already been over it enough that you know that you're well enough that you can survive in these. Thank God you're above level 15, right? All dem magics. All dem magics. Physically, though, her body very much frozen. You could try pouring hot, scalding water over it. Lulu's even pointing out that she's got like 5 or 6 thermoses of tea stacked away in her box inside of Jade's bags.
Maybe I'll try lighting a torch first and holding it nearer to see if the heat has any effect before we we possibly anchor the hag by throwing scalding hot water on her.
Fighting against the bitter cold, when you bring the torch exceptionally close, you do see some of the ice on the edges of her clothing, at the edge of her skin, beginning to slightly melt. Though it's so cold that unless you have the flame directly on there, the second you pull it back, it refreezes. Not a magical effect, which is why for John, when you were mentioning about using Arcana, the answer to that I can now get back to is no. It's not a magical effect. She's been exposed to the elements and is completely frozen in place.
I have not prepared fire spells pretty much since we got to hell, so I don't have anything. The best I could do would be if we were to like dump a bunch, like put a big metal object near her. I could heat the metal to make a radiator, or I could polymorph into something that's fiery.
What we could do is, Isaac has that tiny hut. You could always pop one around her, and then we could thaw her out with a torch. Because that'll allow you to
Technically, it's
control
not magical.
allows you to control the environment inside.
And technically, if it's non-magical, a couple hours worth of having that controlled environment up would thaw her anyway.
It's pretty much that's the only thing I've got. Like I said, fire spells have been kind of out the window for some time. Can I wild? I don't even know if I can wild shape into. No, beasts. Beasts aren't particularly fiery, so I doubt there's anything there.
Basic healing magic. Well, I shouldn't say basic. You're going to need something pretty strong. Probably heal at the base would be enough as well to restore her, though she's still exposed to the elements. I mean, if a dragon can freeze you in place and then healing brings it back, I'm going to say you can use it to thaw someone if they're still alive.
Oh, right, yeah. Like, I've got, like, greater restoration and stuff like that, so that shouldn't be an issue. So yeah, so if we pop the hut, and then I'll just, like, do like, heal or something, like you said, that'll speed things up, probably. Okay. If that sounds good to everyone.
Yeah.
Alright, so who's dropping down a tiny hut?
Well, I think Isaac's the only one who can do it, but he's currently away from his keyboard, I think, just now. So should we have his simulacrum do it, so the Isaac Prime isn't tied down with it?
They wouldn't have it prepared, so they'd have to ritual cast it anyways. At least I assume they wouldn't have it prepared.
Yeah, I just meant because, like, the caster needs to stay in it, so if we tie down the copy of Isaac, then that's still leaving Kieran free. So yeah, the copy Isaac will do the tiny hut. And because he's not here to say how he ritually casts the spell, I imagine he does it like Abe from Abe's Odyssey, going yo 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 yo. And that's canon now, folks. It's canon.
I don't know. He might be going Yumogo fighting Tao, Yumogo fighting Tao.
I thought about Uncle from Jackie Chan Adventures, but Abe got there first.
DDM does that sometimes with mute on when he's hoping to pull a sneaky on all of you.
One more thing.
I've been tempted to use that when I pulled a few traps on you. Just be like, oh, and one more thing. Whack. I imagine Kieran would probably be down for that plan because it doesn't use any resources and it's a fairly straightforward way to get the job done. He may have concerns with the nature of the hag that you're releasing, but you were told to go this way to find a shaman, so.
And I mean, we can always kill it later if it's necessary.
The other flip of that is, for whoever would be looking at the compass, it'd just be spinning in circles now that you're standing on the island.
Interesting.
Giving it a click to return it to Mephistar would point it straight back in the direction you came, but clicking it back over to searching for this island, it just spins in circles. I mean, you're here.
Well, we could be assuming that the first thing we find is a shaman and be completely wrong, but that's the game, y'all.
I'm back, by the way. Sorry.
Welcome back, Kieran. The team needs
Just
your
in
assistance
time.
on something. Dean has a plan.
Okay.
We're going to have your copy create a tiny hut to create a controlled environment, then cast a spell to thaw the hag, and that'll stop her from freezing again.
Okay. So you want Copy Isaac to create a tiny hut, and then you want him to use a spell to thaw the.
Oh
the
no,
hag.
Alec was going to use a heal spell to get her out of the ice instantly. We just need the controlled environment from the hut.
Sure.
We just don't want it refreezing.
Yeah. All right. I suppose you suggested Copy Isaac simply because it's a lower risk if something goes wrong inside that tiny hut.
Plus ritual spell, right? No resource strain.
Yeah, it was mostly just because you need to stay in the hut, right? So we didn't thought that you would want to move around as Isaac Prime.
I can see that.
All right. Well, sounds good. Copy Isaac will definitely come help out with that. So.
And I will remind, if you didn't want to burn your own spell slots at all, Lulu does have 1 drop of heal in her.
Yeah, well, maybe we should use that because we've basically been like keeping Lulu out of fights because it's safer.
Yeah.
So maybe we should use that because I don't think she's used it in a while.
Lulu's gonna look up to Flux and then look over to Zerial, and between the two of them and be like, I'm not sure. Is that gonna be a conflict of interest? I should be able to do it, but I'm never healed a night hag before.
Just remember, Lulu. Oh, it's a night hag? I was gonna say hags are fae, but I don't think night hags are fae, which means
some are fiends, some are fae, right?
Favors and the word that means returning favors.
Lulu gives a shrug. Day hag, night hag, sun hag, moon hag. Oh, they all look the same to me. Evil.
Not as evil as Mephisto, though, eh, Lulu?
We'll whoop his ass someday too. I bet you. She pauses, looks around. Oh, he can probably hear me. I should be politer. We try and whoop his ass someday. There we go.
Flex just winks at Lulu.
Polite. I mean, he wasn't polite to us. So don't be worried about that, guys. Anyway.
Well, Lulu's more than ready to walk over and tap the spell onto the NPC. With Kieran's character, Isaac's clone, Isaac copy, we'll be able to put up the barrier. Then Lulu's gonna make her way over. I'm not bothering to move the minis, though. It's fairly straightforward. And she extends out a trunk. She goes, all right, everybody ready?
Go for it.
Lulu just ducks her head forward. Heal! A brilliant bright light shining out inside of the rather warm area you find yourself in as the ice melts off of the hag's form, shifting and twisting. Her skin, a translucent blue color, and a wicked grin quickly dropping on her face as the ice breaks free. Hands coming up to drag through her hair, pulling it out straight, a few pieces breaking off from the freeze effect as she looks herself over. Oh my word, it looks like I've got visitors. How exceedingly rare. How exceedingly rare. Welcome, duckies. Welcome to this beautiful home of mine. As she spreads her arms out. You'll have to pardon me. I haven't cleaned up. Been partaking in the covenant of the universe itself. Feeling the energies as they flow. And she spreads her arms out a bit, making a little bit of a wave with them before looking back. So, why is it that I suddenly have visitors? It has been ever so long since I've had visitors.
We were sent to find the shaman. We were wondering if you were the shaman. Are you the shaman?
Oh, Ducky, I am a shaman. You might say that. Cleric, you might say that. Holy woman, you might say that. All those nice things, dearie. That's why they stuck me here. Unfortunately, my family and I, we didn't quite see eye to eye on how the world works, so they placed me here, said my vision was too powerful to fall into the wrong hands or something of the sort. But I have to say, it is a peaceful existence staring into the eyes of time and continuity.
Can
Who's
I
your
ask?
family?
Yeah, what he said. We've met. I'm going to bet Mad Maggie, Red Roof.
Oh, you know my sisters. Oh, such lovely dearies. They do like to wage war across Avernus. Not my style. I've never quite understood the bloodlust and the enjoyment behind it.
Can I do an?
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know how Flux's insight is, but can I do an insight check just to see if she's being on the level
Oh, by all means.
with us? I don't have very good insight, but I'll try anyway.
Roll a 19 on that, though. Flux, who has met these hags before, staring her over and taking every infliction, every movement, every change in tone. She is the antithesis to her sisters. You get the feeling from her. You get no chills up your spine. You don't get that shiver in the back of your eyes as you stare towards her. You're not feeling yourself shifting on guard. She actually does seem like a genuinely nice person, which doesn't make much sense to you, given that you're in hell.
No, it doesn't. I will. I keep thinking I'm Hannah because I'm drawing her. I'll kind of nudge. Who's nearby me?
You got Jade.
So, let me look at the map. Yeah, I'll nudge Jade and whisper to him like, I think she's being honest. I think she's actually not an evil hag. I don't know if my mic picked that up, but
Oh, it came
It
through.
did.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I got
okay,
it.
perfect.
What is there something we can refer to you by other than the shaman, or is that do you like that title?
Oh, well. My sister, as you know, was Roth, and my other sister, Maggie. And there's also my brother on the material plane, but I'm not worried about him. Myself, they refer to me as Christine. Glad to be of help to you, Ducky. Now, again, I say, as you've come a long way across cold winds, icy waters, and the wrath of this bloomin' hell, what can I help you with? Because you have not drawn a blade to me yet, so lucky day for me. I get to live to see another, do we get sunrises? No, we don't get sunrises here. A cloud? Snowball? Snowman? Another Yeti! Yes.
A Yeti. We were seeking knowledge on the on Kintyre, the lost magical kingdom.
Oh, what information do you seek of Kintyre?
Where is it?
She gives a bit of a pause and shakes her head. Well, that's not information I am privy to, dearie. I do not know where Kintyre is. Holds up a finger. But I do know how to get in.
Okay. Would you mind sharing that with us?
Well, of course, dearie, but of course, Ducky. Because I accidentally went back to Mad Maggie myself. See, I made the Alistair slip this time. Of course, Ducky, of course. However, it does come with a singular requirement, for I will not bade this information to any evil sources. And she holds out both of her hands, palms face up as she smiles towards you. You and your friends, one after the other. I'm going to need to take your hands. I need to inspect your very soul and ensure that you are pure and truthful, or I will not give you the information, for this will not fall into the hands of fiends.
When you say take her hands, they stay on, right? You don't actually take them.
She snorts a bit of a laugh and nods her head with a smile. Oh, my word, dearies, you know my sisters well, don't you?
Yep.
No, I will not be removing your hands. I merely wish to hold them for but a moment, Ducky, so that I might see what is within that mind of yours.
I'll go first. Milkgate will hold out his hands.
Just leans over, grabs on. She looks a little bit surprised at the forthcoming and then smiles. Oh, my word. Well, I don't have to worry about you, angel boy. You go sit down. Then pats you on the shoulder, seemingly gaining everything she needed with a grasp of your hands and nothing more. You feel no negative side effects, nor any ill repute. But you can tell, she was able to just look at your character's alignment.
I will let the others know. As far as I can tell, nothing bad happened.
Alec will hold forward his hands.
Then she does the same, grasps his, seems to pause and frown for a moment to look up towards him and tilt her head to the side before letting go slowly. Oh, dearie, you've peeked at the future, haven't you? I can see my sister's magical capacity twisted and wrapped around your form. But you're still a good heart, that's the important thing. You gotta be careful when peeking at the future, though. Dangerous things.
Isaac
Yeah.
Isaac will offer to go next.
And she gladly takes his hands with a bit of a smile and a nod. She goes, oh, you, on the other hand, your hands have not nearly seen enough work in the plows. Oh, bookworms, the best kind. And let's go, with a smile on her face. I don't think anyone in the party actually has an evil alignment. Jade might be chaotic neutral.
Alec is very interested to watch what happens when she looks at Jade's hands. He's got a little notebook out.
I won't lie. John is interested. Milkrate's of course seen the best in him. He's like a little kid.
Okay, Jade will go take the hands. Let's see what she has to say.
She grasps your character's hands. She pauses for a second and looks them over, tilting them up slightly. Oh, my word, Ducky, you're going to have to tell me how you keep these talons of yours in such beautiful condition. Look at mine. They're so worn. As she holds up her wretched-looking cracked fingers before shaking her head. But my word, so much blood, death, destruction, mayhem, and chaos on these hands of yours, Ducky. That's quite right for a rogue. I can see you've done a good job of theft in your life. Very good. Always for the best of causes. And gives you a pat on the shoulder.
Yeah, Flux will go last if that's everyone. I think it is.
She pauses as she looks up towards Fulminoxus, extending her hands out once or twice slowly before taking your character's hand, and she goes, "You'll pardon me, dearie. You look like that one arm of yours is enough to throw me off the side of this cliff, so I hesitate, but oh... Yes, I do see it. Righteous fury behind those sword of yours, isn't there? Very good job. Very good." And then half a moment later, Flux would hear beside herself, "Hi, I'm Bellamy," as Bellamy extends her hands.
Oh, yeah, right. Forgot.
Because that's a given. I know Courtney would be all over this one. She'd take Courtney's hands, or not Courtney's, she'd take Bellamy's hands, give them the glance over and say, "All right, dearie, that's the completely opposite now. I'm looking at these hands and I'm just thinking, how in the nine hells are they not at all damaged? They look flawless. Did you get a manicure before coming here? My word, Ducky, these are impressive. Oh, the hands of a musician. Oh, that makes sense now. I see. You're a chaotic one, aren't you? Creating chaos and insanity across the realm. I won't lie. I enjoy it somewhat." And she lets the hands go. She looks towards Lulu and Zariel and just waves a hand slightly in air. "You two get a free pass. I ain't touching that." And doesn't seem to take much interest to the remainders of those on the boat. I do believe that's everyone, as she gives a nod as she looks around and then points a finger towards Jade. "You've seen the creation of the key to get in. I sense it. You've crossed the magics before, all of you. Twisted against your form still, the music still echoes in my mind. There's a maze. I can give you the directions to it. Inside of it, at the very center, is a monstrosity of incredible battle prowess. I dare say this machine has destroyed more heroes and villains than any that I know of off the top of my head. It sings in such an odd way with a melodic instrument spreading across the nine. If you can learn this melody, master its ways, then you too will be able to pass into Kintyre."
Alec turns around to look at Bellamy. The song?
This causes the hag to pause a bit and blink as Bellamy starts playing it. She goes, "Oh yeah, I got this." She tilts her head a bit. She goes, "Well, I've not quite heard the song before. Have you already been there? Oh my word, duckies!"
Yeah. That's the violin.
Well then,
Oh. What did the machine say when we deactivated it? Kept, like, a couple of machines kept saying something not found.
you're gonna get a big shrug from the hag in front of you. She's like, "I only glimpse at the weave, dearie, or ducky. I cannot tell you the direction it flows."
Nilkritz wasn't there, so he wouldn't be able to remind you.
Alright, okay, I'm just...
Don't remember.
But
I
busting
don't.
out the notebooks.
I think it's like Mobius not found, something like that.
Something like that, I think, yeah.
You see Bellamy, she's flipping through notes, pulls out this entire beautifully made parchment sheet that she's gone through, entirely writing out the notes of that song. And she looks, here we go, Mavius Not Found. I called this song the Mavius because I didn't know. Only because the team got it and it's an issue of pronunciation.
Right, yeah.
Nothing more.
Cool.
You know,
Huh.
Asmodeus versus Asmodeus. Had a little fun with that last week.
Yeah. Oh, so...
I'm a little surprised I remembered as well as I did.
10 points. 10 points.
So we... Okay. And so we mastered the song, and it shows us the way, or gets us there?
She shrugs once slightly. Ducky, I wish I could give you a better explanation, but much like peering into the future, these visions I have seen, they're not the most clear. I see a great wall of blue fire, impenetrable by all but the most powerful, bending to the will of that song. Beyond that, there's little more I could tell you.
Well, thank you. That's more than we knew before. I do have a question following something you said, though. You were able to tell that Maggie had foretold how he would die. What did she do if you were able to tell? Is she just trying to mess with us?
She squints her eyes a little bit. Oh no, dearie. Or oh no, Ducky. She is most certainly not messing with you. My sister had the most wonderful of gifts to be able to peer far into the future, to the last moments of your life, or what could be the last moments of your life. Dangerous as it is, these visions were so hard and so much for the family to understand. Too hard to comprehend. It's always troublesome to look into the future, dearie. Very, very tough. I will say, though, my brother on the
We don't
Matorial
talk about
plane...
Maggie. No. We don't talk about... Anybody? No?
Damn it, Jillian, you're 5 seconds too fast. 5 seconds, because Maggie was about to say... I want to say, my brother Bruno, because I did mention she had a brother on the mortal plane. His magical capacity to view the future is unparalleled. But we don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I heard your joke.
I'm giving you a point of inspiration, though, because you called me on it like
already
half
have
a second.
one. Does anybody need inspiration?
I've got a point. I think.
I think Bellamy might.
I think the team's good, but if not, let me check on Courtney's character.
I'm pretty
here.
sure Courtney needs one.
Nope, she's
I
got a
think
check
she
mark
used
for
one.
inspiration.
Oh, does she? Shoot. I thought she had something.
The meaning is still there. You got it. I hinted she's like, I have a brother on a mortal plane. Then I come back to it later, and my brother and Jillian just pops up. We don't talk about Bruno. I'm like, damn it, yes, exactly. Perfect, 100, 10 out of 10. We're on the same wavelength. That movie was awesome. Disney, please don't sue me.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I know they want to, but Disney, please don't sue me.
They're very litigious.
Look at the $375 I've got in my bank account. That's it. There you go. I come running after them from my debit card. You got to bring that back. I got to buy a sandwich. Oh my, oh my. But she does acknowledge that Maggie does see the future. And she even adds in that she herself can peek in that direction.
If you said you stare into timing and creation itself, do you have any insight on, like, it seems like multiple timelines, multiple versions of us are being pulled in?
She lifts a hand up and scratches the side of her head, tilting it somewhat. Ducky, me and my sisters, my family, we represent an oddity within the realms themselves. Singular beings existing across all of them simultaneously, most of us unaware. But all of ours are connected. It's how we have the vision. We see the multiple worlds, the multiple threads of the weave, as they twist, Ducky, twist around into this mystical world. But it is not quite so simple. We existed, or exist, or will exist, or maybe we it's so hard to explain. Time, for one such as me, is not as time for you. My past, present, and future, all of it is happening at the exact singular same moment for me. Though you find yourself here, we've already met, or at least we will meet, or are meeting, or have met. It becomes exceedingly confusing, Ducky. That is the vision that I have, the strength I have to see across the realms.
Are you triplets, or is there an older sister and a younger sister?
Oh no, just the three of us and our brother.
But I mean, you weren't all born at the same time, were you?
Oh no, I am the oldest of the three, dearie. Or Ducky. So hard to slip on that theory.
Are you the Norns?
Pardon?
Are you the Norns?
Yep. She gives a laugh and gives a bow and smiles. I do appreciate the compliment, dearie, but no, I'm just a hag. Sometimes the universe blesses us with powers beyond mortal comprehension, and in such a case, Ducky, we must run with them.
Ah, okay. It's the hell of a coincidence.
I mean, there might be a slight reference there from the DM because he's having fun. Because there's the rule of 3 in Dungeons & Dragons, and the rules of 8s, but that's a different thing. They like to do things in 3, so I like to run things in 3 when I can. But that is also a cross-reference. Good catch on that, Dean. A little bit of one, the Weird Sister 3, right?
Yeah.
I always thought of that when I saw the first Maggie and saw Hag later. I'm like, I gotta bring in a third someday, and I was like, I know how I'll do it. And I've been waiting like 2 years.
Fun fact for those who did not see Encanto, they were triplets as well.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it might have been a reference to something until Dean said that.
Oh, that's an interesting fix. They all have powers too from that one. There's a lot of little things in that movie that are clever. I loved it. I was like, let's give this a watch. It looks fun. And then by the end of it, we're like, we don't talk about Bruno. Oh, on that note, Jillian, have you seen that we don't talk about apple bottom jeans?
No.
Alrighty, I'm gonna send that on the Discord. It's a quick one.
Okay.
They took We Don't Talk About Bruno and put apple bottom jeans over top, and it is absolutely genius. I'll put that over with the same spot where the other one dropped up. Kieran had tossed up the one for the ocarina, which had me laughing. But it's impressive how well they mix together, so. I will say around this point, Lulu's going to give a slight headbutt to Alex's leg.
What's up, little buddy?
She looks up towards you and gives a bit of a squint. Well, you remember when Mad Maggie shunted you all into the past, right?
Yeah.
If they got the same power base, and if I recall, it almost cost poor little Dusty his life. When I did it, the past was changed. You saved his town, his family. Well, his adopted family. You think if we need a feather for Zerial, and you all can be sent to the past by her using my power, or something, I don't know. But you remember when we did that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Zerial's ears sort of perk up and her eyes look towards. What? You all traveled to the past? That's very strange.
You're brilliant, Lulu. We can go back to the past and get one of Zerial's feathers.
So Christina, small favor. You like timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff?
She squints a little bit towards the group of you, looks down at Lulu, back up to the party, looks over towards Zerial, back towards the party. Well, my duckies, I suppose I might be able to assist with such a crazy endeavor, though I do need to specifically warn you. You need to be cautious if you're going to do something so brave with such bravado. Certainly. With her magic and her willing, and with the assistance of her friend, because, let's be honest, if you can't sense the radiant magical energy coming from that elven, you're blind. Which is true. Zerial still reeks of holy power, though her form clasped. Christina gives a nod and says, I could most certainly, with their assistance, send a lot of you to a period in time where one of your friends has met Zerial. I'm sure if you head up to her, and you were to ask, she'd give you a feather. I don't see where her feathers are now, but if you're looking for feathers and she had feathers and you know that, then, well, I just send you to a time when one of you or one of your friends had met her.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were at a loss for how else to get one, so I guess we gotta try, right?
She holds up a finger. But again, let me stress, duckies, we are the prime timeline. I don't know if this is something you have ever been made aware of, but any changes you make to the past could drastically affect the future. However, time is not a linear concept as we know it. Things warp, things happen, and things mostly follow that. Time wants to flow in the direction it has been faced, and even those of us able to travel and change the past might find that these changes have already been enacted, and we are simply being forces for time. But believe me, time is not one or the other. It is both, duckies. So when you go to that, if you go to that, and you see yourselves, be very cautious. Most of your actions probably won't make much of a difference, but that isn't to say your actions won't make a difference. You could rightfully screw everything over but by squishing a butterfly. She gives a bit of a shrug.
Anybody else thinking of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror?
Exactly.
I've heard talk of this. It's the nannerfly effect.
Mustn't touch, mustn't kill, mustn't squish.
Right.
Crack.
Pass
Oh.
without a trace. Boom.
But she is more than willing. But she does advise she'll need Lulu's help and Zerial's help. They won't be able to go with you.
Flux will ask them, do you promise that they won't be harmed?
She blinks at you a few times and shakes her head. Oh, no. No. You are not getting me to protect them. No, Ducky. I'm going to be too busy holding on to the concentration for this spell while they're empowering me. They're going to be on their own. Some random monster jump up in this area. They look pretty tough. Then she pauses a bit and squints her eyes towards Flux. Oh, do you mean me hurting them? No. You're the only ones who are going to be any danger. Trust me, duckies. If you're in the past and you get killed, you're dead. Might be a little hard to bring that soul back if you come back between timelines and warping between different planes of existence and all that. No, I wouldn't be too concerned for the little golden floof here on my side and the pointy-eared one over there. They're gonna be very safe compared to the rest of you.
Well, you know, for most people, traveling back in time would be a big major life event, but for us, it's Tuesday. So
Flux eyes the DM suspiciously when Christina says that they won't be harmed.
Actually, it's Wednesday, not Tuesdays.
oh, did I get the street the Street Fighter?
Actually,
wrong?
it's 4th day, not Wednesday. Oh my word. The 20 that Flux rolled on that insight is still flowing through at this point. And when she says, Zerial and Lulu, they're not the ones that are in danger here, you guys are, she's not lying. I'm letting that 20 still fly because it's such a nice roll. Flux just rubbing her chin the whole time, like, And this hag before you, this frozen ice hag, that's what I'll call her. Christina doesn't seem to be lying. She seems to be dead honest and seems to trust in the lot of you, given that you're good. Ultimately, if you had a spell that would prevent evil from being able to do something, you could always drop that and see if it stops her, and then you'd know she's lying and she's actually evil. If you had some surefire way to determine an alignment, you could do something like that. It's kind of wizardy fun, though.
Well, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about Christina hurting them. I'm worried about, well, we're gone. They're gonna disappear.
Oh, big bats fly in and do stuff. Christina will confirm that she requires their powers, both of them. Zariel to anchor them to the timeline, and Lulu to give her the strength to boost through time. Both of them combined with that angelic strength. If either of them break concentration for any reason, the dream will end anyway, and you'll be back to this timeline anyway. Those of you still alive.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
It's also why Zariel and Lulu can't go with you. That's mainly what the DM's done on that for the meta knowledge for you, Jillian. As fun as it would be to kidnap
thank you.
Lulu again, I don't want her to become like Princess Peach, you know? You show up and Mephisto's like, I'm sorry, your Lulu's in another castle.
You gotta understand why I'm being extra cautious, Alan.
It's a little PTSD, I'll be honest. It's like I always say, the Avernus book right off the get-go says, basically, screw the players over, make sure they have no victories. And I'm like, well, I'll give them a couple. It's an evil little book.
Yeah, a game where the players never get to win just ends up, I think, becoming frustrating.
The victories are what make it good. It says to underline all their victories with small pains. Like, maybe a bug bites them on the neck and they get a welt. And I'm like, well, I'll do stuff like that, just not all the time. And admittedly, as your level has gone up to this point, it becomes a lot harder to kick you in the shins. It's essentially what it boils down to.
So my philosophy to writing like things like horror or writing things like tragedy is that it's told in contrast. You have to have good things to happen to make the bad things feel bad. If it's just bad things all the time, you become numb to them, right? Like,
oh yeah. Well, that's why you saved Lulu. Imagine. You
That's why they make you love Lulu so much, so that way they can keep trying to take her from you and ripping your heart out each time.
Exactly. Lulu's the best NPC. She just trusts the party because the party gave her everything she could ever ask for. Her mind, her memory, her life, and her best friend back. And a new best friend with the rest of all you, yes. She just walks up, headbutts you in the back leg, you're my best friend. And whoever says, who is she talking to, I'm just going to say yes.
Let's be honest, Flux is her best friend. Sorry, Zariel, Flux, the rest of us. That is the order.
Flux is like, I'm big, I'm strong, nothing's going to get through me to get to you. So, you know, it works well.
Do we all get special suits like in Infinity War?
Christina's going to hold up. Yeah,
Was
it was
it
Endgame.
yeah.
I have trouble with two-parters.
It's okay.
Understandable.
I will say Christina
Yeah.
just waves a hand in the air and shakes her head. No, duckies. I mean, if you want to change your clothes, by all means, just give me some warning so I can turn my back. I'm a little bashful. Though she is going to take a moment to look over towards Kieran's simulacrum and nod her head. Very, very comfy room, by the way. Very nicely done. I don't know if I'll be able to take you into the dreamscape, unfortunately, if you're providing this magic for protection. But very, very comfy in here. Oh, it's so warm. I'm going to miss this when you're all gone.
Well, it's a simple ritual if you are capable of casting.
She probably could, but whether or not she'd learn is another. You get the feeling she might actually like being frozen.
The cold never bothered her anyway.
Bum 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 ba da ba bum ba da ba bum.
That's all, folks. I'll be here till Thursday. Buffy's great. Check out the chicken dinner on Wednesdays.
Today is
what
the
about
Disney
Friday? Apparently.
Instead of the wonderful world of Disney, it's the hateful world of Alan.
Roll the Fallon.
Yeah, see what summoning all those animals do, Disney princess. See what they'll do.
Polar bear and a yeti come over
Alex-
and sit by her.
Since Alex is the one that summons all the animals, does that make him the Disney princess of our group?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Totally. DM said it. It's rule now.
Who the fuck is my knight in shining armor going to look like?
Hey, you already met your knight in charming armor. The goddess of magic came and landed on your shoulder like, I got this. You're level 19. Who else? Or that or Flux. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So she's both the dragon and the person who saves me from the dragon. Interesting.
Hey man, it's 2020. Like, we gotta be progressive here. Dragons are not bad. Always. Well,
Did you guys see the ultimate switch? Half dragonborn princess who's also a knight.
ooh,
They can play any of the roles.
perfect. Got the whole thing covered. Alrighty. Well, you have a decision ahead of yourselves now. Lulu set a gateway up to help restore Zariel's power. Hopefully. Though, it comes at a cost. A travel to the past in a dangerous style.
In the words of a famous time traveling doctor, Alonzi.
It lined up on Discord on my side. Both of you were perfectly in sync. It was great. The lag normally prevents that, but it was perfect.
Yeah. Your pause there was just long enough for me to understand.
Yep. That was perfect. 10 out of 10. Alrighty. Well,
Coincidentally, David Tennant is in the Critical Role TV program.
Oh, is he?
he's a damn good
Yeah.
voice actor.
Yeah.
I'm a
And
little-
Dominic Monaghan and Gina Torres.
Oh, those are some good names.
And was it the Hound, Dean? After I looked it up.
Yeah, the
Oh
Hound
yeah,
did it.
Rory something.
Yep.
I'm excited
And
to see.
a lot of. Oh, if anybody watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, well, Encanto as well.
Oh,
The
Detective Diaz.
It's Stephanie
Yeah,
Beatrix.
Detective Diaz. Yep.
That's some
plays
pretty cool
Chemo.
shit.
They have like a really cool cast.
They do.
Hey, I've seen David Tennant putting his foot in for a lot of voice acting, and there's a video game, Ark Survival Evolved. I played it for ages, and I don't play it anymore just because I played it too much. The main bad guy, who's in the lore of the game, they're doing a TV series of how that all happened, and David Tennant's the main bad guy. I can't.
He's a good bad guy.
And
He's
it's
a
an-
good bad guy.
It's a crazy scientist villain who was megalomaniac and all about control. It's the ideal role to hear him do a bad villain. I can't wait. Like
Yeah.
when he did the Jessica Jones series and they had him on there as the bad guy, I was like, that's. I didn't know he could be that evil. I love it. So
So he's the only reason I stuck that scene out. It's
Yep.
it's the only thing I liked. I thought the rest of it was quite meh. That's meh.
Alrighty. So I will say you're all about to jump on with Christina, the Mad Hag, or probably Christina, the Holy Hag. Because as you know, the 8th layer is for traitors and those who are backwards, and she certainly is a kind and good night hag. Who would have ever thought? Though it's very much clear that you're about to jump down a rabbit hole here. It's 10 to 12. Did you want to jump down the rabbit hole and then take a break, or take a break now and jump down the rabbit hole after a break?
Probably a good idea to take a break first. But
Yeah. That would make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Then we can do it all in one.
Alrighty, so we'll take a quick break here. We'll be back in 15, which will be about 5 after 12. And we can jump on the spell being cast by this odd night hag. Or hag. You know what? Frost hag. Frost hag. Yes, the frost hag.
That's it's pretty cool.
Oh boy.
Ouch. That one hurt just a little bit. Alrighty, I'll see you all in about 15.
Yep.
See ya.
See you guys.
see you later.
I'm doing a very different. Oh, sorry. I'm not muted.
Maybe we wanted to know, Jillian. Maybe we wanted to know.
Well, if you guys want to know, I'm drawing a character from our Tuesday campaign in a very different way than I normally do it. I'm doing it without lines, like I'm doing the color first, and then I'm. What's that?
Looks like a painting.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
I think I'm gonna have to add lines because I'm not sure I like it, but it's a good experiment.
I'd be curious to see how that looks when you're done drawing it.
Yeah, I might post it. We'll see.
I'm also curious. I would like to see it, if you don't mind, without the lines before you add them. If you do,
Yeah,
because I'm curious how that would look.
yeah. It doesn't look super great. I'm not gonna lie. It's more. It's my first time ever doing it, but if you guys really want to see it, I'll show it to you.
Yeah, it's just a new experimentation for you. We're trying.
It's a difficult style. It's a difficult style of art to do because you have to have like, I think to make it really work, you have to have like really like solid, really complex like coloring.
Like years of like art school to back you up, which I definitely don't have.
really good shading and highlights and like color. You know what I mean? Like color choices and stuff. Like color is something I have trouble with myself. So like I've tried to do something like that and I'm terrible at it. Like it looks awful whenever I try it. So
I wouldn't say it looks awful. I don't know. You'll see for yourself after I get something to eat.
Like I said, I'd
see you
like
guys.
to see it.
I'll see you in a bit. Thanks for the interest, guys.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
Bienvenue.
Get that Mulan meme. I live! Like that one. I'll do that with the Kraken next week. Yeah.
I can breathe. I can fight. That's Timmy Turner.
Yep.
Fairly Odd Parents.
I can breathe. I can fight. Suddenly becomes a traditional Scottish romance novel poser for the cover. That's the exact image they give him. He looks like Flavio. I don't think Flavio's Scottish, don't get me wrong, but usually it's a Highland warrior on the cover of all of these damn romance novels.
Yeah.
And again, also I have nothing against romance novels either. It's just, you know,
Don't you though? Don't you? I'm
sword,
kidding.
that's it, long hair, Flavio, cover of book. A guy defined masculine beauty for a long time. Him in the 80s rock metal, hair metal. Oh yeah. Oh my word. I was I just finished rewatching all of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Oh yeah. And by the end of it, I'm just headbanging along anytime Carl shows up. I'm like, oh yeah, get it on with the metal. I mean, he's the most offensive thing ever. Don't get me wrong. But 90s hair metal. Or 80s hair metal, shit. 90s was grunge. And bling. And the pants, the baggy pants, the super baggy pants, the bell bottoms that weren't bell bottoms, the jeggings, the super... Look at these. I go flap flap whenever I make a kick with my leg, but my pants didn't even move. Okay, just blabbing while we're waiting on Dean and Jill.
Oh, yeah.
Dan, I'm assuming you're there. You're off mute.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Does Dan ever leave?
Once or twice.
I say as the other person who's like constantly here, just so we're clear.
Right. If it's not me here, it's John here. It's always one of the two of us.
Yep.
We have to make sure we're here to welcome everyone back. Yes, indeed.
I'm like clockwork. Spot on 10 o'clock, I log into the voice channel. And then I take
you
my
were
break
here
and I'm
at
on mute for
10:02?
15. Today I was at 10:02 because the server was screwing up for everybody, so I had to reboot it. But I saw that both you... Well, I saw first, actually. I think, Dan, you were on first today, and then John. But I'm not sure. I saw you both logging in, and I was like, I'll give it a minute, make sure everything's working before I jump on. No one else is on yet. And then Kieran beat me on, and I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, it was Dan, then myself.
It was going to be me, then Courtney, but she was having internet issues.
I'll be honest, I was up to about 3:30 last night repairing my wife's MacBook, because MacBook sucks for repair. Oh, I just want to
Yeah.
close the damn window.
The
I didn't
new,
want to get out of bed.
so the new ones, they actually are launching a self-repair program where you can order parts and things. And they've seen indications that the newer ones have actually been made less hostile towards repair than the previous models were.
So
So
hardware, software, they suck for all of it. They're the worst, the absolute worst. You can either take a 12-hour process to restore everything or say fuck it and try and install the new operating system, which won't be compatible with the old stuff, among things. And then they don't give you control over the drive while it's going. So if there's a problem, you can't take it out and just back your data up to a third-party source. No, no, no. You got to make sure you can unlock that on a Mac computer only, and if you don't have one handy, you're fucked. Mac sucks for repair. Trust a guy who just spent 47 hours this week repairing it twice now. And it's not even errors on our side, it's Mac errors. A Windows PC, it would have taken me all of 20 minutes to fix the exact problem. So, I mean, yeah.
Dan, that name just makes me giggle.
I was going to post it into Discord, but then I remember some people here like Pokemon, so that might...
Oh, I like Pokemon too, but
like
I'm
Pokemon.
also a heartless bastard.
what is this? What's all this?
This fan-made Pokemon
There,
FPS.
I just linked
just the name is enough, right?
We're it's a more rated R take on the Pokemon Safari, I guess.
Yeah.
Apparently, Nintendo is hunting them down to try and get it stopped.
Oh yeah, Nintendo does not fuck around. You don't make any. Even if you're making a nice thing that is praises what they do, they don't like anything by fans. So,
actually, I've seen a video of someone playing through it, but there's a fan-made game where you play through as Team Rocket through like the first gen, and like a lot of it used a lot of backstory, the fan
Yeah.
theories, and made an incredible story. Like, again, I only watched someone play through it, but like this story was incredible.
Well, that's cool. Say some very good, like high quality fan fiction.
Yeah.
Find a good writer and you'll get a good story.
What is it? Anybody else playing the new Pokemon game?
I'm PC gaming. Hell, I got a PS4 Pro under 9.0. I could run that thing up and just hack it. Tempting. But even then,
I like
PC.
Oh,
I play PC games, but I like having a handheld system. There's something nice about being able to just kind of kick back with something that I can hold and
I
do
got
what
a
I
Vita.
mean. Yeah, I can do it too.
You have Vita and a 3DS and a PS TV. I got all that shit. Oh yeah, fucking A. That's my handheld right there. Forget the Switch. I'm not spending $400, $500 so I can play like a Final Fantasy VIII remake. I want to, but I'm not gonna.
by the way, Ellen, I just thought about this. You said that you were having problems with your wife's Hackintosh. Where it's a Hackintosh, could you not just run a Linux-based operating system off the flash drive, go in, and then just from the flash drive, like from the Ubuntu system, back up the data that way?
Nope,
Is
it's
it
all
like-
locked, sealed, and broken away. If you try to
Is
take
it
the
like
data off a
driving-
Mac without actually
Yeah.
logging into the hard drive through the operating system, and even then, the way that it stores
Yeah.
its data is completely frigged. In Windows, you put a picture down, and it's this picture, here's its name. Windows goes, it's in this file folder. Mac goes, no, we're going to make our own structure, and it has this special thing. We're going to put a random name on that picture and put it in the corner. So even if you can get on there and get your files, it's sort of like someone took the Encyclopedia Britannica, ripped all the spines out, and threw all the pages in a bucket, and said, there they are. You can put them back
Yeah,
in
Mac-
order. They're numbered.
Mac uses its own file system that like no other
Oh,
operating
okay.
system uses, if I recall correctly. It's a Apple file system, I think. If they're still using that, or if they've placed it with I can't remember if that's the current one or not. Which is why, like, typically, if you want to have a drive that's accessible across like multiple things, you want to have it in like a different format, right? Because like Windows has its format, which Linux doesn't like, and Mac doesn't. Mac's okay with, but isn't super fond of. And then Apple has its own file system that I think nothing else really likes. And then,
Mac practically refuses
I
to
don't-
let anyone else
Windows-
touch their shit.
yeah, I mean, actually, so I will say, in Mass Defense, they do have a lot of open source projects, and I wouldn't even be surprised if the Apple file system is open source. It's just that there's no reason to use it over like
and,
other existing community options, anyways, right?
John, you're about half spot on, though, for one thing I ended up doing. I didn't use Linux, I used Windows. I have a Windows partition on there for troubleshooting. I was able to get it and access the drive, but even then, it's read-only.
Yeah.
Mac uses Snapshot,
that's
which locks
Gee,
everything
but-
down pretty hard.
So I will say
That's why I'm a big fan of Linux, because Linux, you can tell it, no, we're doing this, and it'll go, okay.
But then it'll
So
say
that-
the drive's locked.
Yeah, I will say frequently that actually happens with Windows as well on other operating systems with was it NFTS file system. You can get support on Linux if you like download certain programs, but a lot of the times you'll have that Windows drive be read-only. I've had issues with that dual booting before.
Yeah, but I know with Windows at the very least, you can use your sudo commands to like make it not.
You get
I
ownership,
haven't-
change ownership.
I
do
haven't
that.
I haven't tried Macintosh because
It's locked.
Mac. But
Don't. It's
You-
so locked down.
You can do some pretty crazy stuff in the command line, but it's probably very much at your own risk. Because I've
oh,
been able-
absolutely.
I spend
Yeah.
probably 3/4 of my time in the terminal on Mac in order to do half of the crap I need to actually do. And it's all commands. And even then, sometimes it'll say, no, you're not allowed to do that just because. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
Windows PC, and it's like, you're giving me trouble, I'll extract your hard drive and I'll just manually edit the files. And Windows like, no, no.
Yeah. Although I wouldn't be surprised though if we're going to start to see more issues with this with Windows now that they're enforcing what's it called? They're enforcing drive encryption with Windows 11, which is part of like the hardware requirements of Windows 11 is having compatible hardware. So I wouldn't be surprised if it starts to become more of a pain in the ass to start to work with removed Windows drives with Windows 11
The
installs
most
now.
trusted platform module technology you're referring to there? Mac's been using it for a while, and it is a friggin' nightmare when it goes wrong. Though it's not going to be an issue if you have a computer that's been built in the last 5 years. There's basically 2 ways it runs. It's directly on your motherboard by form of extra hardware, or it runs through the CPU. And the nice thing is, most every CPU in the last 7 years can do it. The problem with Windows 11, because that's a bit of an off-step, isn't that they've restricted the TPM module control, it's that they've restricted Windows 11 to not run on anything below the 8th gen of recent chips of Microsoft. My my 7600K, my CPU, which will blow most things out the water, is not approved for Windows 11, even though hardware-wise it will run it flawlessly. Has TPM, has all of that. They've restricted actual CPUs, not just TPM.
And so fun fact, they actually, when they first announced the requirements, I think they adjusted them and they made them a little bit broader, but like
so
there's
that
actually
the what is it now, the tablets that they make, the Surface Pros, those chips that are old, they added in only.
Because they were selling a $3,000 computer that would not run Windows 11.
Yep.
Like that's unacceptable for them to, like, you know what I mean? If they consider that to be deprecated, they shouldn't be selling it on their own store, right?
Now, though, I will say the difference here: the new Mac OS 12 that just dropped, Monterey that just came out.
Is that out, or is it?
It's in like 12.3 at this point. That came out, and you can't install it on Macs from like 2012 or older unless you download jailbreak hardware and force it on there. Windows has said, we'll let you install Windows 11 on them old PCs. You just won't get the same upgrades that everybody else does. So, I mean...
No, I actually have a computer I can't install it on. And it refuses unless I actually go about, like, purposely trying to sabotage certain things to trick it. The installer will not let me install Windows 11. So...
Yeah, did they actually drop Windows 11 now?
Yeah, it's out. Yeah, my friend runs it.
Like, are they running the beta, or is it actually out, though?
It's out, yeah.
Oh, cool. I'll have to look into that. There is a way to get around the Windows 11 CPU lock. I just can't remember what it is, because I remember reading it up ages ago. I might look at it.
I don't meet the CPU, and I also don't meet the TPM, but I would say, like, the operating system, like, the installer does actually try to stop you from installing it on machines that are too old.
Did you check your BIOS for the TPM settings?
I don't have. It's literally my motherboard just is too old. It's I have a 2600K, right, like processor. It's my computer is a good like 10 years older. So
that
it's
would
just
be a little too old then.
Yeah, exactly.
You need something in the last 5 or 6 years. It's the 1000 series of boards off of the Sandy Lake Bridge, I think.
All I was getting at is they are doing something similar, and it's unusual for Windows because Windows usually has like extremely long tooth support for hardware. But they've been much more aggressive at trying to get people to modernize their hardware with Windows 11 than they have with previous. Okay.
Just for security. It's all that security. That's what they're getting. I'm gonna have to check to see if I can squeeze onto Windows 11 on an alt partition. I've got a second NVMe drive hooked up here. I'll just pop it on that.
If your machine doesn't meet some of the requirements, you might be able to trick the installer on some things. But I think with my computer, because I like literally don't have the TPM support at all, I just can't. Like, my motherboard is too old. I like literally like, it's just not possible. Apparently, like I've looked into it, but. Because I think you could trick the CPU thing. I think the TPM thing, you have to have TPM. Which makes sense if that's being used for, you know what I mean? Like,
well,
TPM
actually, it's a double check, because for a lot of the TPM module, they just run it through the CPU. The CPU itself has TPM integration, though you can install it if that's your backup. You just have to go to your registry, look for this under your registry under computer HKey local machine system setup, setup. You're going to find it in there. What you're going to want is to add a new entry saying allow upgrades with unsupported TPM or CPU with the minus quotes. That's per the norm. Hit data field OK. Let me get you a link. Try this.
Maybe they made it a little bit more permissive because so many people complained. Because I remember in the beta they were
This
they
is
weren't
actually
like
what
apps.
Microsoft says to do. It's the only way if you're going to install it on a system that doesn't have it. You have to edit the registry, and then you use an ISO to
Okay.
install it. It's a very simple, straightforward registry check. If you've never messed with a registry, be careful.
Yeah. Oh, I've edited the registry before. Yeah.
That's going to be how
yeah.
all of us get up to Windows 11 on the older stuff. Oh, I see Jillian came off mute. Dean,
Oh.
Jillian, you back?
Yep.
I'm back. Yep.
I was
Perfect,
waiting
perfect.
for a chance
Moment.
to get to say hello, but
Yeah.
we're on a tear.
We're on a
Um,
computer. Sorry about that.
I do need to point out I do have to leave more or less right at 2 today.
Oh, yeah.
Just have some errands to run.
We'll take a
Fair,
pause
fair.
right at 2 anyway. I got some errands myself I got to go run since the weather's nice.
You guys acting like you can get out the end of your driveway.
Huh?
I mean,
I live in an apartment that they
Yeah,
just
I
got
know.
for me.
I know. I've been to your apartment. Well, I've been to the parking lot at least.
Yeah.
I still not moved
I,
car
My
for
very
so
fancy
long.
parking lot.
They plowed me in, so I waited for
Yeah.
it, and I'm just going to drive my car over the snow and push through it. I got studded winters. I'm not worried. I'm really, really cranky with the snow removal here because I moved my car last time, cleared out the whole area 2 feet around. I put my car back, come up the next day. They pushed snow up against my driver's door. I'm in the middle of the friggin' parking lot.
oh jeez.
I
And
had
my-
to spend 2 hours yesterday shoveling my way into the parking lot just to have the plow guy bury my car. I
Yep.
ripped off part of my front bumper and half burnt out my clutch.
Oof.
Yeah,
That's rough, man.
I had to dig us a path out yesterday, and I got very grumpy this morning.
Snow shoveling sucks. It's the worst.
Yeah, Dean couldn't even really use words today. He was like, he said this morning, he's like, Jillian, I need your help. And I'm like, okay, what do you want me to help you with? He's like, I need your help. And I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do? He's that's how grouchy he was. He couldn't even really get out what he wanted me to do. It's funny now.
Was like more. It's like they fucking made more snow just to put the end of everyone's driveway. It's fucking impossible that there wasn't that much on the road, and then they
There was
just
a lot on the road.
like they fucking shipped it in from somewhere else. I'm fucking telling you, there's just no way. It's like fucking Game of Thrones out there. It's like they're worried about a fucking like wildling invasion. That's how fucking big the snow was.
It's but for real though, like it's as like the bank is as wide as I am tall. Like it's like I cleared a path so that Dean and Fergus could get out for their walk this morning, and it's legitimately 5 feet out to the road of just like 4 foot snow, 4 feet deep, 5 feet wide. Ridiculous.
That's rough. I don't have to deal with that much, but that's rough. I can see why people lost power, lost internet, or anything like that. Like, oh my god. It was a heck of a storm. I sat.
Yeah, we got a lot more snow than I was expecting.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
walloped. Oh my word.
I thought it was mostly just gonna be like like the wind and stuff again, but nope, it was a shit ton of snow.
Yeah, like I said, I saw it on
Metric
the Civic.
ton.
Just driving down the street here when it was at its most worst at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, right when it's starting to level off and wasn't snowing anymore. They pull out, they start to go down the street, their car just gets hung up, and I'm like, I am not running outside to push.
I saw neighbors stuck outside trying to get the car out. It was really funny.
Oh, I don't mess
The
around.
things I have to do this afternoon, I was going to do yesterday at like 11, and then we
Yep.
looked outside and was like, let's just wait a day.
Yep, everything was closed anyway. Everything was
Yeah.
closed, except like Sobeys.
Oh, I have to make
Tire
sure
was open.
to drop things off to friends.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, Canadian Tire was open. You, Walmart, Shoppers Drug Mart, and Sobeys do not close.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if you got to their house anyway and they just went, "No, we're closed, John." No.
That would have been something. You're like, what do you mean you're closed? I'm dropping. No, we're closed. But
Yeah, you're going to come back tomorrow.
Oh my,
Just specifically, John. Fuck you. Just so we're clear.
Starting to look like Kanye out there, actually, instead of Canada. Players are like, the hell is snow supposed to wait one more day? We got that Sunday, what?
speaking of Tanya,
Yep.
you should probably jump back in.
What a segue.
It's an easy one. Snow.
You
Alrighty.
snow it.
As the ice hag before you has made an offer, she extends her hands out and say, "Well then, my duckies, if we're going to start this run, well then you're all going to need to take a seat around and join hands for any of you looking to go into another world."
Alright.
Lulu sort of walks over. "Oh, what about me?" And the night hag crouches right down until she's eye to eye almost with Lulu, extending a hand out slowly to scritch on top of Lulu's head. This done certainly with an air of caution and a glance towards both Flux and Zariel before she did the scritch. You know, the little, "Don't worry, I'm just petting." She gives Lulu a scritch right behind the ears with a smile and says, "Oh, my word, dearie, you just sit in my lap, let me drain that magical power of yours, and try not to pass out. If you do, it's gonna end the dreamscape, as you know." Lulu gives a bit of a chuckle and nods. "Oh, I'm pretty hardy. I can outdrink most of the guys back at a tavern. It was pretty awesome. I think I'll be good." Zariel rolls her eyes a bit, muttering something to Flux about Lulu being able to outdrink her.
Yeah,
Lulu's
she's a tough little. She's a tough little babe.
Refer to her as a professional drinker, not an alcoholic. There's a difference. Lulu can walk away from the table. Well, she usually can't. She has to be carried, but you know, point stands. Unless anyone has anything wonky or funky you're doing. This would be the time where you'd all be sitting around in kumbaya, hands held tightly underneath Copy Isaac's shield of protection, granted by that beautiful bubble.
Oh. I take it our familiars and Pup isn't coming. They're staying here.
Yep, any of your doubles are going to be staying behind, and she also implies to Isaac as well earlier that the simulacrum probably won't be able to come along either.
He'll just stay there with his bubble.
Yep.
So, are you saying we're all sitting in a circle around the Copy Isaac?
Pretty much. Him sitting down beside the old ice hag who has Lulu in her lap and Zariel a hand on her shoulder, to both of them granting her power, concentration, and a place of focus as she begins to weave magic through the air, muttering something about the lines on the weave, twisting and turning. You get a flashback to the time Mad Maggie did something similar as your vision around you begins to blur. And you hear Lulu's voice echoing through the air. "Oh my word! I don't know where they're going, but I hope they're gonna have a good time."
Spoiler alerts, they will not have a good time.
As the ground before you shifts and changes, twisting and turning. Kieran, you go ahead and check your DM in a second. You see a burning town growing around you. This might be a calm point of rejoicing for the group, though only for the briefest of moments. You find yourselves underneath the stars of the mortal plane once again. A glance up and a survival check might be able to tell you who, what, where, when, why, and how. As the stars seem slightly offset from what you remember, the group of you spread thin in this area as you find yourselves standing on the grounds of a small village beset by fire, flames, and fiends.
Was that him, Jillian?
Yeah, he's upstairs. I was just gonna leave him. He was probably just at his bone.
Yeah. He threw it off the couch. Little.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Yep.
Sadly, in this town, it looks as though most of the people here are now slain. A few commoners running, screaming in terror for their lives, as fiends dash upon the land. For those brief moments as Alec begins to gain his bearings under himself, looking up and scanning the night sky, You can gain your position somewhat accurately as somewhere on the Sword Coast, but it's really hard for you to really pin it down. You recognize these stars, the land, the lay of it, but not their positions. They're off. Give me a wisdom check.
Okay, wisdom.
Look at that, rolling a 23 on wisdom. Your character's eyes widen as he comes to realize he's no longer anywhere near his own timeline. Easily 100 years at least in the past, you find yourself standing on the Sword Coast.
Now, out of curiosity, I don't have survival, but like, Nilkritz would have been alive during this time, so can I make a check to see if I recognize it, or?
Let me put it like this. If you look your head up towards the night sky right now as a regular everyday human just checking it out, if the stars shifted and moved only a little bit, you might not notice it. Also, Alec has gained the knowledge. You're more than welcome to do a survival check as you glance up. But this is now obtained knowledge by Alec. He did pass the checks to figure it out. Nilkrace, however, is just looking up like, the stars are back, because you gotta set it.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, that being said, there's fiends. I don't think Nilkritz is really even going to be paying that much attention. He's probably drawing his sword and going in.
The town is beset by fiends. Destruction around every corner, dead bodies. Everywhere you see is this small village under severe attack. Wherever you've been sent by Mad Maggie's dear sister Christina, it isn't quite what you were expecting by any means. So, we know what Dean did as his character looks up towards the sky, scanning and saying, What in the nine hells? Or maybe not, hard to say. Let's pop to next. What's Jade doing as you find yourself appearing in the midst of a combat? None of the fiends have immediately yet taken to the party as you all basically appear out of thin air. But they've certainly taken to this town, attacking with fierce bravado strength.
Did I lose people?
No, I'm just waiting on Dan.
Okay, cool.
No, I'm here. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing.
Yeah, we kind of just dropped everything on your lap, and you're like, my first turn. Okay, 1 sec. We'll get a combat roll if we need to, but for right now, I'll give you that 1 turn for everybody to get their bearings. I'm just rolling through the players. Since Dean went first with Alec, I'm just going to jump to Jade, then the Flux, then the Nilkrace, and then Isaac. Unfortunately, Kieran, you're at the bottom of the Discord list. I'm lazy. Night Hag be like, I'm gonna send you somewhere in the past you can meet up with Zariel. Whole team is like, oh that'll be great.
Oh, that's Isaac beside me. I didn't... He actually has the token.
Yes, Isaac shimmers with a strange blue light as he looks towards you and gives a nod. More on that later.
Isaac, you're a real boy.
Yeah, he's real now. That's one of the first things I noticed.
He looks towards you with a blue volt within those eyes of his that seems a little different. Power raging from his fingertips as a slow smile spreads over his face. Since he decided to trigger that, switching over to his turn, he just chuckles and says, oh, well, isn't this just absolutely perfect? What are we doing? Blasting or running? And that's it for Isaac's turn. More on that when we actually get down to Kieran in the initiative order. Well, in the pseudo-initiative order. Like I said, y'all get that 1 turn to set your bearings. And Kieran's turn is going to be a hell of a fun one.
Yeah, I have no clue what to do.
So we'll give you a sec then. Jillian, you got any plans with Flux as you see this town beset by demonic forces? Well, devil forces, I should clarify. Demonic forces, they don't make deals, they just kill. A pit fiend towards the north, hounding against the side of a building where bodies lay. And a horned devil not too far, while another one around the corner from you lurches its way around the side of the building, hands clutching the edges. Though, again, not looking towards you, but in this direction. The party unseen and unheard, due to your instant way of getting in.
Yeah, I think Flux is just gonna try to hide a little bit, like duck into the smoke. Pull her cloak up a bit.
You won't need to actively make a roll for this, as the enemies have not noticed you. Remaining hidden will keep you safe and hidden and out of sight of enemies, falling back towards this burning smoke, as the fiends tear into the commoners that round this area up. Dan, you got a plan?
Not really. But I'm thinking I should probably go kill something.
Admittedly, that would be Jade's usual go-to. He's got that weapon on hand and he's got a lot of targets around him. If you still need a moment, though, I can check in with John, see what he's thinking for Nilcrace.
Yeah, please.
John!
Nilcrate, since holding up the sword of Zerial, has the flaw. I will know nothing to stand in the way of my crusade to eradicate evil from the multiverse. So we're going in.
Alrighty, we'll jump into a combat roll for your next turn as you charge against the Ice Devil, where it was not expecting you and you appeared out of midair. It will be a surprise round for that micro combat. You do have a couple Spine Devils in the area, though they're going for the commoners. The Ice Devil itself attacking and striking the house, trying to break down the door to get inside. And finally, Kieran's character takes a few steps forward as he glances about the town. Power and energy crackling off of him as he just chuckles. Oh, let's just wait for the first target to be brave enough with a smile. And we'll get into combat for next round. More importantly, Kieran, Isaac didn't end up going to the same place as everybody else. Sure, you're in an area beset by war and by siege, but I'm pulling you to a different map. As the light fades and you see a burning sky above, dragons fly overhead and monsters beyond stand around you. You find yourself in the brilliant courtyard of a gigantic kingdom, and in front of you you see a beautiful castle, or the remnants of such, beset by war and beset by siege as it explodes before you. Crumbles of the purple-blackened rock falling to the ground near you. Your character barely has a moment to respond, however, as in front of you, not a moment later, from the sky above, a great and powerful draconic beast, an undead Dracolich, lands and roars, the ground echoing beneath your character's feet.
Sorry, just to confirm, you said he's in a different spot, but we still have this Isaac here.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Fortunately for Isaac, however, it appears as though you've stepped into the middle of someone else's fight. Following behind the dragon, floating on midair and landing. In a heroic pose directly in front of it, you see a beast of a man with strong armor and a proud look about himself. A figure you've seen once before. This place you've seen once before. You remember him as he laid her to rest at the fountain. You remember seeing the King of Blackrock, hands coming up to catch the mouth of this mighty dragon, holding it in place for a brief moment on his turn, before unleashing a spell of incredible magnitude right in the beast's mouth. An explosion rattles your character's ears in the brief seconds as your eyes open wide. As the King of Blackrock, that same beautiful armor, strong glance in his eyes, brown hair falling down either side as emerald eyes set themselves upon your character, the dragon falling dead at his heels. and not half a moment later, Elisphera landing beside him, having flipped in from a whip off the top of the buildings. She puts a hand on his shoulder and says, "We are in contact with Conqueror, my king. We will turn this tides." He seems to pause, however, and double-take as he looks towards Isaac, as this FMV sequence comes to a close, just like an old-school 90s PS1 game. And he takes a step forward. You go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right. I assume my simulacrum isn't here, as I see it on the...
He's looking over at you twice like, "I'm not supposed to be here. Why am I here with you?" And more importantly, why is it that when you look upon the face of this man, mid-40s maybe, from the years between the memories you've seen and the memories created, why does he look identical to the facsimile of Dusty that Nilkrace carries around his neck? The King of Blackrock sets a hand on your shoulder and says, "Ragnar, can it be? I've not seen you in so long, not since the academy, brother." But an explosion rattles the gates nearby as he turns his head, his eyes focusing in the distance for a moment, as you see a monstrosity, something of such unbearable strength, burning its way across the gates. His grip tightens on the sword at his hip and he looks back towards you. "I wish I could help, brother. I wish I could speak with you now, my friend. I do not know if you're soldier or if you're citizen. But," and he points towards the north, "there's a church in that direction. People still need help. People need to evacuate and escape. Or," and he points back the way behind you, "you can exit. You can run through there. There is troops. There are people who protect you. I can't help you right now. There's too much on the line." And then in the far, far distance on the skyline, another thing catches his eye in the midst of night. An explosion, a bright light going wide against the setting sun. A moment pauses before the elf beside him picks up a small square rock in her hand. It looks like a communication stone. You've seen similar, but not quite like this. She pauses and looks up towards the King of Blackrock and says rather softly, "Conqueror's gone." The look on his face turns a bit more stern as he looks towards you and says, "You need to make a decision. I can't help you with this. Either protect others or flee. Either way, stay alive. This is not the day mankind falls." And she walks forward as well, puts a hand on your character's shoulder and says, "Pray for your king."
Nod at
You
her,
got it.
and I'm gonna...
I was going to say, you have a brief moment for possibly a single question before he jumps after that Tarsk. You might understand now what ends up killing them, as you've seen him lay her to rest at that fountain, damaged, worn, and broken.
Oh God.
Your
What would I
character
even
finds
ask at
himself.
this time, right? Like...
You're presently standing in the last moments of the Kingdom of Blackrock.
I think that he would. I think Isaac would understand that, like, you know what I mean. He's in the past, and you know what I mean. Like, what he does here isn't supposed to, like, you know what I mean, change things. So I think that given the option of either running to the church to go help people or like running away, I think he'd go to the church to go help people, even still, just because that's kind of what he does, right? So he would, as per the...
You
Sorry?
can see a number of fiends on the map, just giving you the heads up. You've got one of two paths to get through, either charge through a horned devil or charge through a pit fiend. That seems to be the mission that the King of Blackrock has left with you.
It's horned devil on one side, a pit fiend on the other.
In order to get through to that church, beyond the gates of Blackrock.
Well, the horn to get to the church. Sorry, they're both in front of paths that lead to the church.
Yep, if you take a look at the very up top of the map over this way, I'll do a pull for you.
Yeah.
The other players are like, what is this? We're only getting theater of the mind here. You'll notice the pit fiend, and you'll notice the horned devil, both of whom, oh, I'm not marked, here you go, both of whom are blocking either entrances, but Like the other team, so long as you mostly avoid any devils, you can probably get through this area without being touched by them. But those two at the end might be your biggest source of concern.
Alright, well, I'll have to at least approach, first and foremost.
As the king of Blackrock gets ready to leave to face that Tarsk, he puts a hand on your character's shoulders, both of them, and nods and says, "Let the power be with you, my friend," as he casts Bless on both of you. Then, picking up his horned helm, the same one you ripped from the mouth of a dragon, sets it on his head, looks towards them while, and he and Elisphira both take off. Though she takes a moment to put a piece of paper in your character's hand. The same one you'd seen previously, basically saying, "Pray for your king."
And I will tell him good luck, you know.
"Don't need luck," he says with a nod. "Just a good sword." And I'll go ahead.
Just to confirm, is the King of Blackrock the Godslayer as well?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So, we'll jump back to Kieran in a minute. That was it for your character's turn, as we now jump over to the original. Just pardon me, I dropped the plate on the floor.
Hopefully you didn't break it.
Nah, it's carpet, thank God.
Perfect.
There we are.
Also, I do have to ask, that Trask, did you cast it? Because if so, it has haste and ward 10. The image you used is from the magic card.
Oh, cool. I just gave a quick Google, and it was destroying a town, so it's a perfect fit.
Yeah.
Godslayer with all of his might is about to go solo a Tarsk in 3.5 Dungeons & Dragons. Do you know how hard of a fight that would be?
Yeah.
That's going to be
No
nuts.
idea.
But what's more important now is that we get the party in on an attack combo. So I'm going to get everybody into the initiative order here. If you all want to go ahead and roll in.
Sorry for taking the option away from everyone.
It's alright. So long as everybody beats that 7. Be okay for one more turn.
I'm gonna use ambush as well.
Ooh, okay.
So I'll add a D12, I believe.
It got your initiative, but
Double
didn't put it in, so I'm going to have to manually roll you anyway. So a 14 plus a d12.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It put the initiative in, it just didn't take it.
Wait.
Because I
wait,
rolled, you know why? I rolled from D&D Beyond, that's why.
Oh my god, you
So
go
it's a
before Jade.
26 initiative. That's a new one for Flux.
It froze when I first clicked the roll, so it didn't roll, so I clicked it again, so I have 2 initiatives there.
The first one being 25 and then the 22.
Oh, the first one went through. Oh no, it didn't. 25 versus 26. She still gets to go ahead of you for like the first time ever, man. That ambush.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty.
Boundary's just been really, has been rolling really low for me. That's why I decided to do it.
Alright. As it comes around the Flux's turn, as combat begins, you notice something out the corner of your eye, off to the side, where the pit fiend rounds on a group of downed commoners. One child is not dead. He rises up very slowly, and whether it's the look of determination in his eyes, or maybe that curly brown hair that you recognize, or maybe it's the way he holds his sword and the glare on his face, but words echo through your character's mind from a conversation that Flux specifically had a very, very long time ago. When Dusty sat you down and said in his home of Alverton, when he was but a child, they would have all been wiped out by the fiends that roamed across the Sword Coast. If it wasn't for a passing band of heroes, his life surely would have been forfeit with Zariel arriving with first morning's dawn to clean it up. And that kid, as he lifts up, 2 swords in hand as he stares down at Pit Fiend, you know without shadow of a doubt now. The time that you've been sent to in the place is Dusty's, when he was but a kid, before he lost everything and had to go to an orphanage. The last vestiges of life holding on.
This is a Pit Fiend right here?
Oh, up this top way. Where I have a single
Sorry,
commoner tagged on the map. Actually, let me adjust the map. I think I have it set to vision mode. I'll put it to full vision so you can see everything.
Yeah, I've noticed if you select one character, you get...
It limits your vision pretty bad. He'd be in this
So can you
top
indicate...
corner.
Oh, okay.
However...
Yeah, so that's where I was indicating. So is it just the one that's about to take a strike?
This commoner here, I'm going to use that to represent young Dusty. And a Pit Fiend over here.
Yeah, that's
Now-
the one I had an eye on. Okay, this is what yeah, that was the Pit Fiend. I'm just trying to figure out what my target's going to be.
Now, without a doubt, you could rush in, try to save the kid. Certainly. But you also know if you look the other way, there won't be anyone to pick up Dusty's mantle. You are apparently the prime timeline. Changes you make, decisions you do, change everything. The DM underlining this in bold. Flux could look the other way, if she can bring herself to look the other way, and you would drastically change the future. You wouldn't have to worry about evil Dusty, because there wouldn't be a Dusty. Would Conqueror of Avernus, would you still win the campaign without him? Well, the meta-knowledge the DM reminds you, that was an NPC you all created. You have a difficult, impossible decision.
So I'm assuming that we were the band of traveling fighters. So I'm gonna... What's my movement here? Let's see. I don't know if I can get to him. No, I can't. I can't get to that one either. May as well just attack this one. Yeah, because I can't get to him.
Not directly, no. Not without a dash. You could try to run up between. The kid's literally just standing up and drawing blades, pulling the attention of the Pit
No,
Fiend.
actually, you know what I will do? I will move to that spot, and I will, and I'll, use my breath weapon. Draw attention away from the kid. Would be enough space there. It's 15 feet. Oh, no, it's not.
You're doing the line, so it's longer than 15 feet.
I thought the line was 15.
I believe line is 30 and cone is 15.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry, I shouldn't have doubted you, Dan. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Alrighty. I think it's a dex save for the Pit Fiend.
It is a dex save. It's 19.
Well, let's see if he passes. I'll do it on public. He does not!
Nice.
You go ahead and roll your damage as you blast the Pit Fiend with a bolt of electricity. As Flux decides to roll with the timeline as it was intact.
It was, so it was 19 damage. It came up when I clicked it.
Yep, I saw DC 19, and then I looked again, I saw lightning damage 19, and guess whose brain didn't put the 2 and 2 together?
Okay, so did we, we talked about how, like talking about changing Flux a little bit so I could use the breath weapon. Do we want to use Fizzband rules? I have not, like, adjusted Flux at all.
Lexi. These are characters that you've been playing for years. If you wanted to switch over, by all means.
No, that's not necessarily what I meant. Just because the book came out after we've been playing, like, do we want to use it so the breath weapon counts as one attack, or is that my full action?
Oh, did they say it only counts as one of your attacks in Fizzbands?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Sweet, go with that. I love everything that came out in Fizzbands, so I really can't say no.
Okay.
And admittedly, level 19, your character would know how to use her breathe weapon quite well. It's not like it's a game-breaking attack. You know what I mean? It's a good one. Don't get me wrong, but it's a nice, average, everyday good attack. So I'm okay with that. If Fizzband says it becomes one of your attacks, I'm okay with that.
Okay, so I'll pull a lightning javelin out of my efficient quiver.
Alrighty.
I will throw it. Was it 20 or 25 feet that I was away from him? Who remembers?
You're about 15, 20 feet out, not even. You're not at the 30-foot mark, so it's not going to kick you for anything yet, so.
I feel like, is Javelin not... I feel like
think it's
Javelin
like
is 20
20
feet.
feet.
Javelin
does
Oh,
it
no,
say
it's
on
30.
120.
It's 30. Yeah, it is 30, yeah.
Perfect.
So I'm going to roll that.
Piercing damage. Half damage. Is that a 14?
Did it
hit?
not... It seems like it didn't roll. It couldn't be.
It
Was
does
that
look like
the
it rolled.
D6?
It did
Okay,
not
I'll just
an
roll
attack.
Yeah, because I don't have it equipped. So I'll roll a d20. Not great. But it would be plus what to hit?
Approximately 1,000.
Well, it's a plus 9 for your strength, plus 6 for proficiency, so that's plus 15 on any basic attack that uses your strength. So that'll be a 22.
Okay.
Wait, Javelin uses strength, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
All thrown weapons use strength as far as I know.
Unless they have the finesse property.
Sweet.
Oh,
So-
am I getting confused with Pathfinder? Because they split some things. It doesn't matter.
I will say proudly that is a hit against the Pit Fiend, a 21, I believe it was. I'm too lazy to do your math. It was just
22.
over 20. 22, thank you. It is a hit. As you strike him with one of the electrified javelins of lightning for 32 points of damage, and it roars in pain. Your initial blast might not have caught his attention, but the second one, it's turned on you now.
I'm going to throw another one.
Flux channels the power of Zeus.
I'll roll another d20 and add 15. Oh, man. It's a 1.
Flux reached too high. Caught Zeus's thunderbolt. It did not work. Lands in the ground beside the Pit Fiend, with a bolt of electricity crackling off.
Then I will throw my sword. It's a bonus action.
Yep.
I'm just gonna roll that.
Go ahead, roll your damages on that. As Storm's dancing thunderbolt flies out into the air.
Not very good damage. That should re-roll the 1, I think. Does my Great Weapon Master count for this if I'm not holding it?
You can cause the sword to attack one creature within 5 feet of it.
Yeah,
You
but
mean to reroll once for
I
your-
get to re-roll once, but I'm not technically wielding it, so I'm not sure if it applies.
The sword's doing the attack, so no, it wouldn't apply for the sword. Because it uses your attack roll and ability score modifiers for damage rolls, but the sword attacks one creature of your choice within 5 feet of it, so it wouldn't have access to your features.
That's fine. And I will
Not-
just
not
shout
that-
at it, pick on
Just
someone
something
your
bad.
own size. That's it.
It chuckles with anger as the DM rolls it into the initiative value here. The big bad Pit Fiend gets a 20, though it's under surprise for this round, as it was targeting the small child, now turning to face against Flux. Jade's turn.
Anyone else excited that this Pit Fiend has absolutely no idea what it's in for?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel less confident about my Pit Fiend, though, unfortunately.
Hey, just be happy, Kieran. You still got your simulacrum. Put the picture up so everybody can see what Kieran's going through at the moment.
I've got a lot in front of me right now.
All this
one or two
only
things.
happens because Kieran decided, hey, I'm gonna link up with that one way back at the get-go.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's alright. It's not like devils have like any magic resistance or anything like that. You'll be fine, Wizard Boy. Don't worry. No worries there.
With my position, do I count as flanking?
The commoner is not an ally in this fight. They are a victim, so no. Not for that one. They presently, as you come up to act all the hero, there's not much to save. That's someone who is gone at this point. You could interact and get into a fight with the Barb Devil and Spine Devil that are presently eating the remains, but that would be entirely up to yourself. A Chain Devil presently torturing another over this way. I don't like going into too much detail on the gruesome, dark, bad stuff because I let your imagination fill in and I don't need the nightmares. Not that it gives me nightmares. I provide the nightmare fuel. Also, I had tipped to Jillian for immediately jumping on which path to take on that one. I thought you might have a little more trouble deciding. You're like, nope, gotta save the kid.
I think you're on mute there, Jillian.
Oh.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was just saying I did struggle a little bit, but as soon as I found out it was a little dusty, I mean, and I appreciate the reminder that wandering band of fighters saved his village because that made it easier too.
It was one time you all sat down and your character kind of pushed him a little bit. Give me some info. Where are you from? Like, what's been going on with your life? And I spoiled a bit of the info on Adele Glen really early, but then I also mentioned this spot. It was fun. It was a nice throwback. And I'm like, someday they're going to meet up with Mad Maggie's triplet sister, and I'm going to send them there. But that's so long away, and we're here now. Oh, frig.
I do love how you were like, I am going to send them there. They're not missing this one.
Well, you wanted a feather for Zariel.
Yeah.
Plus, you're getting lots of info. Isaac has confirmed one of the biggest secrets of the story that his character has carried since you made it to Cania. That Dusty and the Godslayer are the same person.
Also, the King of Blackrock
Yeah.
apparently he wore many hats,
So many reincarnations. So many.
including
changes,
number
so many
3.
warps. Including number 3. Alrighty. Jade's gonna charge in against the Spine Devil and bring a shutdown with Honeysickle. And it's a Spine Devil, bro. Roll your damage. I don't think you can miss. Let me check. I will see. They only have a 13 AC. You get a +6 on proficiency, +6 for the dex at least. That's +12. You roll a 1 is the only way you miss a Spine Devil. And that's because you'd still beat its armor class, but you have to roll the 1. Don't roll a 1. I'm not going to jinx you. I send a cut. See what I mean? 1 damage? Oh, yeah. Alrighty. So, you give it to the Spine Devil for 11 points of standard damage. Anything else added on to that?
No.
Alrighty. Yeah, I know it's a little restrictive. Once you get that next level, you're going to be killing everything so much. 11 points of damage as you see it's badly injured as it recoils from the stab, turning to face you and pointing a finger, gaining the attention of the other 2 devils that are in the area. I'm just going to add them to the initiative order, but just like the others, they are presently under the surprise condition as they were not expecting you as a combatant. So they won't really do much until next turn.
Well, since we decided to go with this,
And Kieran, where I know you can't actually see the scene they're on unless you go back to it, which you do have the power to do. I kind of gave a little bit of foreshadowing that I was going to do this at the start of today's game. I can move people to other maps. Ho ho ho. I'll put a picture up so you can see what's going on the map still. I use an alt print screen for that though, so it pulls up information, which is why you can't see Jade's face.
for my bonus action, Little Dusty gets this.
Shield of Faith. +2 AC. That means his AC goes from like 11 to 13. What's the AC on a commoner? 10. My bad. But he's got 2 swords, so that gives him an 11, because, you know, I'll give him that from when he was an adult. 13 AC.
I was going to Sanctuary him, but I have a feeling he's going to strike out, so that's pointless.
Alrighty. Anything else for Jade's turn?
No.
Nope. Alrighty. Alec is up. Little Dusty. I'm not going to even put him into the initiative order. He pretty much falls down on one knee at this point, somewhat exhausted.
And just as a reminder, as class feature, at
11.
initiative order 15, I get to go again.
Oh, it's 15. Right. So right after the barbed devil who doesn't have a turn because he's under surprise condition.
Yeah, it's my current initiative number minus 10.
Yep. Last time it was 11.
Bum, 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 bum. So these commoners, these icons, they're dead or dying?
For the most part, yeah. There's nobody left alive in this village. It's been wiped out. Except the one kid who Flux is running
Right.
towards to save. And I will say at a glance, Alec could probably recognize him. This isn't some dreamscape where you're seeing a hazy memory of a spirit. Dead set, you fought with that man when he was a man. As a kid, he still has that same defiant look on his eyes. The only people who aren't going to recognize him is going to, well, be Isaac and Bellamy. I don't really have Bellamy doing much at the moment since she's not here to play her, but she'll be an active combatant to help against the pit fiend that you're jumping. Pretty much charging forward. Can't let no kid get owned or offed. It's like,
Okay, bum. I definitely wasn't struggling to think of a plan of something to do.
It's not what I'm
got-
spending literally this whole time doing.
I got this. I got this. It's been so long since we've not been fighting in a dungeon. I've almost got options. 6 feet long, 10 feet high, and 5 feet thick. Or
as a
circle.
DM, my favorite thing to do is to pull the wool out from underneath you whenever I can.
I'm gonna going to walk forward. Can I even walk far enough? That should be far enough. Yes.
Should we be hearing music?
I do have a little soft one playing in the background. Let me just change its volume a little bit. Hearing anything come through?
Nope. But that's okay.
You may need to tap F5, Jillian. You might have disconnected from the server without knowing it. I do show you're connected, but you know how Foundry is. It's wonky.
How do you like click to move after you do like the control click
Space.
thing? Space?
Yep.
Oh fuck you! This browser brings up a search tab. Do that. Oh, absolutely.
There you go.
Thank you.
What I do is I use the measuring tool. Then you drag it. Just click and drag.
Yeah.
You don't need to hold anything, and then you just hit space to move.
Oh, so it works with the measuring tool as well.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I didn't know that. Cool. I will flash into my Super Saiyan dragon form, and then I'll use my action to cast Wall of Forms, because it's been a hot year since I cast that.
I think Milkirts was around last time you cast that.
I think so. So I will just. That's a lot of dice. The important thing is, I think nothing gets damaged. Oh no! When the wall appears, each creature takes damage. So I'm just going to from on this creature. It's like a 5 foot thick wall, so I'm just going to wall off this entire area, cut right through them. So okay, that's used, done. Bye bye. Well, I don't think they're dead, but
60
it's
feet
going
long,
to
10 foot high, 5 foot thick. So that's a nice big wall.
Yeah, it's just okay, user out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. And it's a Dex save, I believe.
templates are being weird today. I can't rotate them. I can change the sides on the fly. That's weird.
Hmm.
Oh well. You get the point. It's like here. Maybe I
Yeah.
can do 5. It's supposed to be at an angle, but I can't. It won't let me rotate it at the moment. I don't know. And I'm not too worried.
No worries. I think it's only the 2 ice devils that need to worry about it anyway. So it's.
And to get the
It's
feel of
all
what's
cool.
going on, wait. So he's going to be standing on that, and Nilkrace would be beside him, is sort of what you're getting to in the end.
Yeah. I was just like, help Nilkrates out, and if that one decides to move up the other end, then it's gonna experience some pain.
Wonder if I can use a ray template instead for this. That'll work better. Bam.
Hey.
Alrighty, so, and I'm gonna say you've hooked both of them. I know you wouldn't not hook the first guy too. I don't want to redraw that again.
No worries. It's cool
being
with me.
cranky. Now what do we got here? Dex save for that?
Yeah, that'll be a.
DC 24.
Yep.
Well, how's the first guy do? 9. How's the second dum-dum do? 18. Oh, he almost got it. He working it. Unfortunately, they both fail, which means they take 7d8 piercing damage. You go ahead and roll that up.
Already rolled the damage when I cast the spell.
64.
So, yeah.
Apply that, and over on that guy as well, apply damage as they both look injured from the sudden damage they're taking on. Took me way too long to draw that line, but we got it, as you've now segmented the battle area between the two parties. Anything else for your character's turn?
I've used my bonus in my movement, so I'm all good.
And I'm going to add these two in since we've attacked them. So, Pit Fiend's turn. He's no longer under surprise condition. Barb Devil's turn. No longer under surprise condition. Bellamy's turn. No longer under surprise condition. Anybody have a plan
Jade.
for Bellamy?
Jade's turn.
Oh, right, you got the 15. Thank you very much. I'm probably going to skip you every time, Dan, so please make sure you always catch me just like that. It's such an obscure thing to remember, and I don't have a way to tag the initiative line.
Yeah, and it's only for the first round of combat.
Exactly. So Jade's turn again.
If it was for every turn, it'd be easy. Just add a second one. But
Oh my.
No one would not play a rogue then if they got 2 turns every combat.
I agree. Like, I definitely don't think I think
Just
it's balanced the way it is. But
Yeah. How would you
So-
pass that up?
You curse and shake your head and say, "Why did I not play rogue?"
Now, if you want to get really evil with a rogue that has that every turn, you give them haste. They haste action attack, hold main action to the next person's turn, attack again. They get sneak attack both times. You can do that twice a round.
Yep.
You get 4 sneak attacks one round.
you don't have 2 reactions.
That's the only
So
thing.
But your reaction comes back at the beginning of your turn. Well, look, I have a second turn this round.
I suppose, yeah.
I get 2 reactions in the first round of combat.
Dan had that just ready for
Yep.
he had that riposte.
Which is fair, because I've always said reactions at the start of combat, but they change. That's in the book at the start of player's turn, so I had to change that around a bit. Which makes good sense for the rogue, makes him stronger, because if it was just one a turn, that wouldn't be cool. Or one around, that is. You know what I'm meaning. Alrighty, so what is Dan going to do with Jade? Abracadabra? Oh yeah.
Yeah, Abracadabra, but I'm going to use... No.
That's a hit. That's dead. You have successfully killed the barbed devil. I'll pull them from the attack order. Leave their dead body there, but I'll pull them from the attack order. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Spined devil, not barbed. Jade gains first blood. Well, technically not, but in this battle, Jade gains first blood.
Oh, I just read that spell a bit closer. So, those ice devils, Alan, they only take the piercing damage when it appears.
Yep, they have to move otherwise.
What I mean is they didn't take 64. So they only took 38.
Oh,
The slashing
no.
damage only appears. They only take the slashing damage if they enter or end their turn there. So when it appears, it's just a piercing.
78 piercing damage, or half as much on a success. 78 slashing damage. Well, still. Oh, did it give you both rolls? I get you.
Yep.
How much was? I'll look it up. I'll pull the damage out. Just give me 1 second here.
Right. They should both get back 26 slashing, or if they're surprised and going to end their turn there anyway, we can just leave it as is, because that would be the damage they take if they don't save.
That's fair. Because that'll mathematically work out, because they're under the surprise condition, because they're being turned over.
Yep.
And Jade has pulled the speed.
Yeah, bonus action dash and move there.
Pits himself behind the pit fiend, which isn't turned towards him, but instead roaring towards Flux. Bellamy's turn now. Anybody got a plan for Bellamy?
I did have one. It involved the phrase, "Hi, I'm Bellamy." I thought perhaps she might cast Spirit Guardians on herself and then run up into a bunch of devils, and after she says "Hi, I'm Bellamy," when their turn spring runs around, they'll take radiant damage. But I don't know if that seems Bellamy enough. I don't know if that's got the right little chaos sauce on it.
No, you cast Spirit Guardians, run in, and take the dodge action. More actions than you can actually do, but
Yeah,
still funny.
but I'm open to suggestions. There's also there's Phantasmal Killer as well. I can see her casting that.
Now, just
'Cause
keep
I
in
don't-
mind, Spirit Guardians is the one that'll only affect when their turns start, right?
Yep. So I'm not too sure.
When a creature enters the area for the first turn on a turn, or starts its turn there.
Enters the area, not is forced into the area. This has actually been brought up in great detail.
Okay.
Spirit Guardians is the one that they use to really underline the fact that no, putting it on top of an enemy won't trigger it. They have to willingly enter the zone. A perfect example of this. Alright, I got a horse. Its speed is 300. I put an orc on the back of the horse. I cast this on the orc. They run across the front line of the enemy. 300 feet of worth of damage to every single person at the very front of the line? Nope, that's not how it works.
Okay. Fair
Yeah, they try to stop cheese grater strategies because it kind of trivializes a lot of fights if you can do shit like that.
Yeah, when a creature enters the area is the key word. That means under its own willpower goes into that area.
Spirit Guardians does say or starts its turn
Yeah.
there.
Yep. That's the other key.
It's a big part of it is to stop you from like double dipping on damage. So
I
Yeah.
had a similar issue a very long time ago with a spell called Web. I let it do more than it was supposed to in the end, and that didn't matter, so... That was a very long time.
I remember that.
Yep.
He stopped playing after that.
Yep, still owes me an apology.
Agreed.
Because I literally say, this is wrong, and you're arguing against me, and I've given you more. Go home, look this up, and he never came back, so... That's
oh
fine.
jeez.
You don't start a fight at the table in public really loudly when the DM's saying, I'm giving you more than you've got with this spell. But that was a very long time ago now, like 2-3 years? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
It was
Yeah.
quite a while because we were still in the Mad Mage dungeon.
Yep.
That was pretty me.
Yep. I appreciate where they were going with the use, but I mean, that's just the way it goes.
Yeah,
It's
that was
crazy
a
to
very,
think
very
just-
crazy use of it, and it was very interesting. But like you said, not proper.
Yep. Spells say no. The other flip of that is, if the creature has to enter the area for the first time or start its turn there, right? Here's the other flip. Let's say you do a reaction and cast this spell on top of an enemy as it moves towards you. Oh, they can freely move through it. Because it's as a reaction, you drop it on top of them. Well, they didn't actually enter it, you put it on them. And now they're in it, so they're not affected by the initial condition, and they walk right through it. It's evil, that way those wordings work. Specifically because these spells are very damn strong. But I mean, we've gone on a tangent here.
I just found a more perfect Bellamy spell. It's called Synaptic Static.
Oh god, that sounds evil.
I'll display it for you guys, see what you think. But there's gotta be a few devils with no innocence and range. It's like a psychic fireball. Is that like 20 feet? 40 feet across? I was thinking maybe she would get like these 2 devils at least.
He's got a good few ones there.
Or she could do...
That's 20-foot radius, so it's a like 40.
Yeah, so it'd actually be like 40 feet.
Yeah, so you could get like 20 there, and then just outside.
Yeah.
You could also like put it like 20 foot here and hit those 3.
Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe should we do that? 'Cause that would be 3 of them.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that sounds like a Bellamy thing to do.
Yeah, and just to confirm, Flux is just outside.
I was about to ask that.
yeah, I forgot to check, and I was like, let's quickly, because you said this one's already dead, right?
Oh yeah, that one's dead on the ground. What's the size of it? Radius?
20-foot radius. Oh, it does. It would hit Jade, I suppose.
Now this is just where I've dumped it in the middle. This can be moved around a little bit if need be. If you're going to try and pinpoint it so it doesn't hit Jade and does hit the bad guy, because it only has to fill one of the squares of the large creature. Here would probably be your best blanketing bet. Oh, no, one to the left. Here would probably be your best blanketing effect if you're looking to just nail the Pit Fiend and this one guy over here.
Yeah. Well, if it's 20 foot radius, does that not mean it would be 40 foot diameter across?
Yeah,
That's a
huge-
20-foot
Oh,
diameter,
that is.
so... At this point, you're going to want to be, like, targeting... That's not bad. Look at that. Kabului. Right at the very edge, and Jade's not affected.
Wait. No,
that's
no,
a
we got that.
20-foot. Yeah, no, that's too big. I just
It was right then the first time. It did two to the... I had the right selection. 1 sec.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to target him.
I was counting squares and not feet.
There you go.
Right, okay. So, alright. Yeah, it sounds like a fun Bellamy spell. We could
Yeah.
do that. Or do you think, would she get the Pit Fiend or would she get the Chain Devil and the Spine Devil just because it's closer to her?
I think we probably hit the 2 closer to her. We've kind of started getting the aggro of the Pit Fiend.
Yeah.
So we just want to try and get rid of all the little ads.
Yeah. Okay, let's do these 2 then. Sorry, Alan.
No worries. You gotta make your decisions on who gets what and what gets killed. But
Alright,
in that
so-
case, then...
We'll actually cast the thing.
So I need 2 intelligence savings throws. This thing needs to stop being on targeting mode so I can click on things without...
Hey,
2
Fergus.
intelligence savings throws. A 15 for the first one. That's a fail.
So we're seeing an intelligence saving throw.
Right. So those are 2 fails. 28 points of psychic damage. Any other bad things happening to them? Muddled thoughts.
Yes. The
Ooh, that's nasty.
Oh, nice.
An intelligence savings throw DC 19 to pass. So we'll apply the damage of 28 to either of those as Bellamy drops a magical spell which confuddles the enemies in front of you.
and for her bonus action, who would she inspire? Probably Nilcrates, because he's closer.
Shoots the thumbs up. You can do it, buddy.
I have no idea what's Bellamy.
And where would she move anywhere? Would she run closer?
She'd
Or would
probably
she-
start getting closer, I think, maybe. So that way she's at least in range of the pit fiend, right?
I guess so.
Because, like, right now we have that building kind of blocking line of sight.
Right, so you think she'd move like there?
Yeah, that would work.
Okay.
Because then it's no longer.
Walks
did
up,
it,
looks
gang.
towards the pit fiend. Ooh! I met one of those before. He had a motorcycle.
What takes Courtney one person? It takes multiple people to try to become a Courtney.
Yep.
Trying to understand that mind, though.
Unpredictable in a good way, and that's the thing. Similar to Jade. Though, if all else fails, I just abracadabra you and I got what Jade would have done. Because I mean, when you have a cannon attached to your arm and there's an enemy in front of you, you fire. Oh my. Alrighty, so that positions Bellamy in a better spot. And we're going to switch off her turn then. And we got the Ice Devil who can now take reactions. And we get to Isaac's turn. Kapoof. He's going to appear. Uses Misty Step to tear himself across the battlefield. Puts his hands on his hip as he looks towards the Pit Fiend. And then back towards Flux. Let's see. What cantrips you got that I could throw at him now since he used the spell? I'll use Mage Hand. Give him a noogie. Ray of Frost. Isaac lets one fly as he chuckles. Getting a natural 20 on the attack roll, as I'm sure you've all just seen. Oh my god, that's so perfect. Given that it's
Damn.
clearly not Isaac. Power radiates from him as he releases a critical hit on the boss for 88 cold damage. 38 points as the Pit Fiend howls.
That's
in pain.
weird.
the attack and that damage.
Yeah, like that. They're the
Maxing the
same.
lines. Jeez,
I
those are
attack
nice.
reroll 38, but that's also my damage roll.
Yep. This is what happens when the DM takes over a PC. They just become overpowered. Now, Kieran, you got to make sure that NPC keeps rolling high for me. I'll blame you if I don't. I will. Ice Devil, Chain Devil both now can take reactions. Nilcrace, your turn. You will notice anyone you have not directly interacted with, like the Horn Devil, is presently not interested in combat with you.
So, I can see that this guy's going there. This guy's kind of covered by thorns, right?
Yep. We moved your character last turn, but you didn't yet strike. As you pulled up the blade, thorns erupted from the ground as bramble tore up and gripped onto the monstrosity. Which probably make Dean a little bit happy for Alec because he gets to see real plants again.
Look at those beautiful murder plants.
I think I want to save like the innocent more than kill the thing. So we'll kind of like go like here and then up like this, so that way we avoid the attack from the other devil.
You tap that spacebar. Let him fly. Technically, we could put you into a parabolic arc where you go up and down, so it doesn't matter. You know, with that high speed, you still got like 40 feet of flight left.
I have 90 feet, so
Oh, I thought it was 120. My bad.
no.
Is he kind of close?
Quite.
Only 90.
Yeah.
Only 90. What a
And-
shame.
As mentioned for the oversized creatures, Jade being on one side gives this entire side advantage, so if Flux gets into this position, you'll get it, Jillian.
And then we're going to use my bonus action to cast Branding Smite.
Ooh.
And then we're going to pull out my sword and attack the Holy Avenger. So 34 to hit, I assume, is a hit. And then I think, let me just reread the holy damage. It is a fiend, correct? So it deals a
Clues in the name. Pet fiend.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to find like the.
John, what's your favorite color?
Black.
That's a shade, brother. I appreciate it though. That's a good one. So I'll go with blue.
Speaking of shade, a lot of you guys are throwing it at John's direction.
There
Big
you go.
sneezies for Vergus. Oh, big sneezies.
The light of your sword. As you draw it out, the Holy Avenger gives that beautiful 10-foot radius. Bright light.
And that also deals.
Fortunately,
Four
they
more.
don't have a vulnerability to radiant. They take 25 points of damage total, if my math is on here.
Yep. But that was only attack 1, so I get to hit him again.
Yep.
Does it,
But hey, you're not rolling at advantage. We are like
oh, right. And then, yeah. So 26 hit.
Oh, a 26 is a hit, yes. For 21 more points of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, and that'll be his turn.
So, a 20 and a 26 and 20. Attack roll, attack 2. Wait, the 20. Did you have 3 attacks? The 20?
No. So the 20 and the 26 should have been 1 because I should have had
advantage. Okay, I got you. You confused the
I
DM for a
suppose-
sec. He was reading on spells.
I suppose theoretically I should have been making another attack to see if I crit, but whatever.
Alrighty. As the Pit Fiend is looking badly injured, roaring at the group of you. We roll around. Back to the courtyard. I'll pull you back over onto that one, Kieran.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, I did forget to check. When I moved out of the ice devil, was he able to make an attack against me?
If he was, he didn't.
Okay.
You hadn't yet attacked him, and he has a whole bunch of thorns up his ass. Quite literally.
He's gonna need a pair of tweezers.
Kieran, I'm going to go ahead and make you a nice little personal encounter over on this side, because it's dependent on what a map is I'm on will determine the encounter, even though I can make multiple encounters on the same map. But, getting a little ahead of myself. That'll matter if you get into a fight on this map. Unless you can find a way to get past them. Just like in the other town that's under siege, these fiends and monsters are presently tangoing. Except they meet a steady and strong resistance. The soldiers of Blackrock are incredibly skilled, and they know their way around battle, holding the line against these monstrosities, even as more fly in from the sky, appear around. The sky itself darkening with the wings of the undead above you. We've given them a while to think on this one. You know what I'm going... Oh, well, I'd pull everyone, but then it'd get weird. We've given you a bit on this one. What's your plan?
So my first question is, are these you mentioned they're fighting? So are these devils largely like distracted right now?
The Pit Fiend and the Horned Devil are somewhat distracted. You might be able to sneak by them, though that's not necessarily your character's forte without the assistance of magic.
Yes. I'm curious too. Putting aside the front entrance, do I see any of the Do the sides of the church look clear, relatively clear?
The church itself is a little bit of a gallop past those stairs, but it looks like it's mostly open terrain. It leads slightly outside to a grassy area where most of the fiends have not yet assaulted. You only see maybe a few of the spined devils making their way there.
I was thinking my best bet might be, rather than trying to beat these fiends, it would be to maybe what's it called? Attempt to sneak around to the side, and then pass wall into the building.
Plenty of options available for you, most certainly.
I think that's what I'm going to attempt first, because frankly, I don't feel confident about fighting like those devils heads up, right? Like by myself, even with a simulacrum, just because they're powerful. Yeah, the pit fiend is like a CR. If it's not CR 20,
Do you
it's close.
need to pee, Fergus?
It's up there.
Yeah.
Horned devils and pit fiends are not weak.
My apologies. I did realize I did forget to do something.
Oh yeah.
I get the Arcane Jolt once per turn, which is 46 damage. So another 12 damage to him.
I will add that onto the pit fiend.
Yes. Sorry, new character. Have to remember everything he does.
No worries. Fortunately, I have the map set up that I can swap easy. Thank God. It's not lagging.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I sent Kieran a DM right at the start. Hey, you're not on this map. Your character's doing something else fun. Enjoy. He was probably like, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Yeah, when you hear that kind of, what is it?
It's almost always a threat from the DM. Hey, your character's getting screwed. Good luck.
For what it's worth,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, for what it's worth, although it's probably not much, I can use my staff to make myself invisible. That being said, I'm pretty sure a lot of these devils probably have true sight. At least I would imagine the pit fiend has true sight.
The ones you care about do.
Yeah.
And your simulacrum is going to make sure to pat you on the shoulder and just mutter, remember, I'm just a wish away.
Yeah. He's one of the things I've been contemplating is that he might have to sacrifice himself in order to help me achieve this. Are there any windows, by the way, in the church that would be open? Probably not, right?
There's a main set of double doors on the front of the beautiful building, and it does have some windows, but nothing too crazy. It's pretty much a beeline to the front door from where you are, though.
So, unfortunately, with night open, time stop isn't a great option, because I can't interact with the door without breaking time stop. So,
the door is, in fact, wide open. Having already been busted through by the creatures that have through. The spine devils.
Yeah, they've already taken it, yeah. So...
But that's your 9th, keep in mind.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to use it, right? Like, I wonder if it's... Yeah, I feel like the pass wall idea seems to be my best option. I'm just thinking of what I can do. I think I should probably cast on myself and what's it called? Where's the spell?
Pass wall?
No. Well, this is for to help me sneak over there, because I'm gonna have to sneak there before I pass wall, right? Where is it? Oh yeah, Fortune's favor. If I could, although if we're in initiative, I can't, because that takes a minute to cast. So what is it? I just wanted to try and boost my chances of sneaking here, because sneaking is not exactly something I'm amazing at. So.
Nope.
Don't you have inspiration?
Yep.
I do. Yeah, do you know what? All right, you make a very good argument. I'm gonna have my simulacrum probably kind of I guess his orders right now, because it's us sneaking together, it makes our chances of getting caught much higher. He's going to stand by, kind of hiding nearby, and he's going to be ready to try and cause a distraction if, like, you know what I mean, like, I'm in trouble, right? To try and, you know what I mean, pull attention away from me. And and otherwise he's going to be kind of on standby because he's if we sneak together, it's just especially because he won't have inspiration, it's much more likely to get caught. So
he'll hold the line back here. Your character can rush himself forward.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and sneak around to the side of the building.
Alrighty. With opposite Isaac, who we're just going to position over here, is going to be taking a ready action that if you get caught while you're sneaking, he's going to do a thing.
Yeah, basically he's gonna he's gonna probably throw up some magic, cause a distraction. You know what I mean? Get ready
Fireball.
to basically sacrifice himself to ensure that I can get away.
He's just literally going to shrug and say, biggest, baddest, loudest spell. I'll throw a fireball.
Yep. It probably won't do much damage, but sure shit will get attention. So.
Fiends are immune. He knows. He knows. Fire isn't going to do nothing, but it's going to draw some attention.
You can cast lightning.
Yeah.
You can zap a few of them. Yeah.
He frowns a little bit. This is going to hurt. You're going to owe me a drink when you bring me back with Wish. And I mean, I know I'm you and I'm really gone and it comes back again, but you definitely owe me a drink. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Once we get out all of this.
All right.
So I'm gonna sneak. And like I said, like this is, you know, he logically knows, oh yeah, these are people in the past, these are people who probably all died, but like he's not the kind of person who ignores this kind of thing, so yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll try to sneak by to the side of the building.
So you're gonna run this stealth check?
Yeah. I was waiting for you to call me to do it, right? Like, yeah.
Awesome. Give it a roll then. Unless you got anything to boost that stealth check.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have, I think, anything that, like, I wish I could get us guidance. What is it? But I will roll with advantage because I will use my point of inspiration. So
then, which way are you?
Oh my god, okay, that was... I don't know why I try, alright.
That's unlucky, man. It's gonna be funny in a moment, but it's unlucky. So your characters, they stealthy sneak around. Not quite the path I've gotten here. Probably, you know, like, oh, look, I'm going through the bushes.
Yeah.
You have to make the decision which side you're going to try and get through. The right side or the left side?
I think probably the right side. I'd like to be further away from the pit fiend if possible.
Alrighty. You go ahead then and have Copy Isaac throw his spell, because most certainly... I'm just going to go ahead and move your mini up to around the back of that horned devil. As you come out from the bushes at one point, you find yourself unfortunately singing like Kronk, dun dun dun, and you're like, oh no. The horned devil starting to turn its head towards you. It's like, oh, drawing up its mighty spear as Isaac Copy does.
You know what? He'll very prominently on that devil cast
Disintegrate.
Fire a fucking laser at him. If that doesn't get his attention, I don't know what will, frankly.
12 on its savings throw. You go ahead, roll your damage. Isaac holding up a hand. 89 points of damage as it decimates the horned devil, leaving it badly injured as it howls and roars in pain, face turning towards Isaac, wings spreading as it is in the pit fiend, along with the spine devil, barb devil, ice devil, a bundle of them around the area, the bone devil. They all start to turn, charging towards the other you. He looks for a brief second towards you, gives a wink, then screams and runs.
Sorry, I actually just screaming, occasionally shooting spells, right?
The screaming itself, you know, is not actually what you sound like when you're concerned or scared. He's just pushing the line to get the attention. So yes, at the cost of your simulacrum, you find yourself standing on the steps, moving forward.
I'll peek inside quickly before I head in, but then, because obviously if there's like a Baylor just standing there staring at me, I'm not gonna like run in, but you know.
You've got about 250 feet jog to get to the church. Doesn't seem to be anything in your way. Doesn't seem to be anything there.
Alright, then I'll...
Probably no trouble making your way.
I can teleport once around, so I can get there pretty quick, too. Good old signature spell.
We'll get to that for your next turn. For now, we're going to jump back to the other party, as you have avoided combat and avoided the pit fiends, making your way to the front doors of the beautiful Church of Blackrock. Flux, you're up. I'm not actually sure if we'll get time to get back, so what I'm going to do for now, however, I'm going to pull... Kieran, I'm going to pull you over to that map so you can at least see it. I gotta be careful too. Kick player and band player are right underneath there, knowing my luck. Oh. So you can see the beautiful church ahead. Yeah, feel free to move your mini up and through and around and check out a whole map. Have fun. You can clearly see what's in there, as there are spine devils presently picking on the people. But they're mostly alive. We'll get to more of that later.
Yeah, I can look around the courtyard.
Have some fun, explore the map. Not that your character actually would have the time to do it, but this way you get the feel for it yourself. So Jillian...
Get an idea of what the building looked like from the distance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Jade and Nail Crates have that pit fiend handled. I can't really get in there. So I may as well just go and attack this guy.
You charge up on the Horn Devil, whose attention turns from the home that it was ransacking and destroying to bring upon to you. And I'll go ahead and enter him into the combat order as well. He is under the surprise condition for this turn, however.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought... Whoops. Okay. That's my bad.
As
I didn't realize that they all weren't alerted, yeah.
Oh, they're alert. They're just not fighting you. Like this guy down here who no one's tagged yet. He's still fighting and beating up a house. Or this guy over here, fighting and beating up a house. Trying to get the people inside, even though most of them have already wiped away.
I'm just picturing him like literally just punching the wall over again.
Street Fighter style gets
So
bonus
there's a
points.
way I could take that back.
Guys, if you have never just punched the wall for fun, you're missing out. Really.
Now,
Sincerely.
I will say, Flux has noticed this guy has not engaged the other teams in his ransacking damage. If you wanted to change your target, by all means, I can pull him out of the initiative order.
I mean, if you don't mind, that's my bad, because I must have missed it when you said that before, Alan. I
I've been a bit
apologize.
stealthy about it. I've only been adding them into the initiative order as the parties attacked them.
Right. Okay.
Now you charge up on that big old pit fiend, who's probably at about half health by the look of him. Jut them weapons drawn, you get the advantage on your swing.
Pit fiend was
Do
just
I thought...
Jade's right there.
Okay, I was just thinking that, Nail Crates had the advantage spot.
Thanks to it being a large creature, so long as you're on opposite sides, it's the fun situation. Large creatures have certain advantage over tiny creatures, but this is one of the disadvantages. We've always tagged it on opposite sides, so you go ahead and beat him down.
I'm trying to. I can't seem to find my sword.
Oh, did it remove it off because we updated? Let me take a look. Oh, so yeah, there it is. It's under your inventory. It might not be under your features.
Okay.
Your actions. Yeah, look at it there. Not there. So that means...
Not... Oh, there it is. It's way down at the very bottom.
I equipped it. It now appears under your actions. I put it on you. I just didn't
Okay.
equip the damn thing. And bless you, Dean. I was waiting for
On
it.
fire! Thank you. I think I wasn't able to reach mute on time.
Jillian brings the pain.
So that's just to hit, I think.
You're getting plus on
Yeah.
that roll. Nice. You get plus like 18
I'll just
to that
roll-
roll. Look at that. I'll tell you a
Just keep
secret.
rolling.
You've gotten so strong that a Pit Fiend's armor class of 19, that's right, I'm telling you the AC, you have to roll a 1 to miss, just like Jade with the other. Your bonuses with that blade are so high, just don't roll a 1 and aim for a 20.
So all three will attack.
All 3.
Will land, I assume.
Yep.
Okay.
And then for Sarah,
And
this
I'll
is
pump.
free.
I'll keep with the...
Oh, sorry, I cut you right off.
Oh, it's alright.
What's the element damage you're going to be using on that?
I was just about to say, I'm gonna stick with lightning.
Perfect. They're not immune to lightning, but they are to fire. So 29, 34, and 35 points of massive damage. So nothing wrong with that. Let's apply
Yeah.
those in.
That's just default to fire. I was just saying as I was rolling damage, like when we spoke at the same time, I was saying I was gonna use lightning damage.
You have decimated the Pit Fiend's health as it's near death, dropping to one knee as it roars in anger and pain.
I will try to hit it with my dancing greatsword.
Which spins and dances through the air as it takes a mighty swing. That's a hit. Torm drawing it bloody close. Well, no, is that the attack roll? Yeah, 1d20. You rolled a 2.
Yeah, it is. I rolled a 2.
Push your luck there, what? Again, though, it'd have to be a 1 to fail. Gotta love those high-level campaigns. 21 points of slashing damage. The Pit Fiend is still standing, though just barely at this point.
Well, what I was gonna say is, could I pump a superiority die in that and say I'll disarm him or something that adds damage?
Oh, disarming strike?
Yeah, may as well, because I can
Not
add.
sure if you can with Torms, but your other 3 attacks, you'd be able to.
Okay, yeah, I'll use 1 attack to try to disarm it, just so I can do an extra d12 damage.
Well, I rolled a 1 on the save.
Is. I was just gonna say it's a 23 anyway. So that's an additional.
Yeah, he still failed.
Okay.
I gave him a reroll. I'm like, I rolled Dex, I'll give him that. That doesn't matter.
It's only 2 damage. I tried. That's the end of my turn.
But you've disarmed him from the giant mace in his hand that lands on the ground with a thud. Jade's turn as he stands before a Pit Fiend, badly injured, moments from death. Same kind of boat, though, with that. You swing with that honeysickle, there's a really low chance you're going to miss this thing. It's got an AC 19, my friend. You roll it. Abracastabia. Abracastabbed. Roll that damage, see if you've got enough to push it off the game.
I get sneak attack. Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah, you do. As you levy one final blow against the Pit Fiend, unless you roll all 1s. I don't think that's possible, but I pretty scorched my last roll, so I'm not saying nothing. 36 points of damage as you finish off the Pit Fiend, stone dead.
I rolled 3 1s.
With 10d6, it was bound to happen once or twice, but 3, that's pretty unlucky. That finishes the Pit Fiend, who falls to the ground with a thud. The young Dusty falling back onto his butt, leaning up against his house, breathing heavy and tired, though not presently targeted by any of the horrible fiends rushing about. Anything else for Jade's turn?
No.
Alrighty. Alex's turn.
At the start of my turn, my star form will switch to that of the archer. And I'll use my bonus action to take a shot at that chap there.
Alright. And I'll roll that Spine Devil into the combat order. Though I'm going to put a marker on him because I don't know if I'll get to his turn before we're done. And I'll put the little crazy mark so I know that he has summoning sickness. I mean, he has... I love it. 18 points of radiant damage to the Spine Devil. Oh wait, is that an attack roll with that?
It was 32 to hit.
Oh yeah, that's a hit. Yeah, I see it, 32 up there. 18 points of damage as you decimate the Spine Devil's health, leaving it near death. Actually, let me double check here. It is not vulnerable to radiance, so it doesn't do extra.
Is that token? Is that a body? Just
the body, yeah.
Okay.
There is no one left alive in this town. Well, except Dusty.
I will cast. That only hurt the Ice Devil as well. You know what? Let's go for a conservative second level Thunder Wave. So it'll be like a 15-foot cube, so I should catch both of them
Alrighty.
quite nicely. And that's a Constitution save.
Oof, that's a fail. And as for Other Dum Dum, I bet you that's one for him too. He got good constitution, but still. Oh, nope. Nope.
Not a 24. Good.
So, if possible, the Ice Devil gets pushed 10 foot away, but I yeah, I don't know if it would go in the building or whatever. So that's DM's discretion.
It's not going to trigger the thorns, since he's being forcibly moved in and out of it and all that. So he'll never take another hit from it. But he'll definitely just move away. So I'll push him in that direction, whether or not it's in the building, whether or not it's not. He's now behind the wall of thorns.
Yep. And then I'll take my last 5 foot of movement to there.
Yeah,
And that will be my turn.
And you
because
killed
this
the
guy
spine
also
devil.
would have been. Oh, it's fine.
You nuked him. Did enough damage to take him out. They're not that strong, thankfully. Barbed Devil's turn now at this point, as it obtains sentience, looks towards Isaac, and charges forward. Isaac's smiling and chuckling. He's like, "You're gonna take me on? Who do you think you are?" Swinging its claws twice and its tail once. What do we got for an AC on Isaac? A 13? Alright, another attack. Oof, they crit against him.
It depends on if Isaac has his gear or not, right? Because he does have a robe of the Archmagi.
What's that make his armor class then?
Sorry, so I bring up my character sheet right here.
18.
It is 19.
Oh, okay, well in that
Okay.
case he's going to use that and drop a shield. But still, those 2 claw attacks are going to hit. Look at that, but the third
Shield-
one's going to be a miss.
Shield is also one of his signature spells as well, so he shouldn't need to use a spell slot for it.
Oh, he doesn't use a spell slot for casting shield. Don't be silly.
Maybe for other reasons, but just if we're going off the Isaac model, right? Like,
Oh yeah. Alrighty. Isaac looks a little bit wounded as the attacks hit, and he just still has that same smile on his face. Brings up one finger and makes a naughty motion with it. Bellamy's turn as she looks towards Isaac and the rest of the party. I think he's drunk. This ain't good.
it's gonna sound like this isn't exactly your typical Isaac behavior.
I mean, this is the first fight Nilkert has seen him fight. So as far as he's concerned, it is.
Bellamy's turn. Oh, did that Ice Devil take the 14 thunder damage?
I killed him. Oh, the Ice Devil, I did not add.
Yep.
I will add that on.
Alright, cool. Anybody get any thoughts for Bellamy?
I
I try to keep it below 5th level. I don't want to use too much of her stuff. Although Courtney has
We
never
could
once
just
worried
use a
about
guiding bolt.
spell slot conservation.
yeah.
True.
Yeah, guiding bolt seems a Bellamy-esque thing to do.
Yeah. Probably
Yeah.
pick someone she's already had. Oh, the Barb Devil. It probably doesn't matter now, but he has the thing for the static.
Minus 1d6.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be enough to push it down underneath. Except that crit. The crit's still a hit. So that's
Yeah.
going to deflect one of the attacks off. Perfect. Give him back some health. I forgot. He dodged that one.
Good-
He has shield
good-
active.
Good call. We
remembering.
can intelligence saving throw at the end of its turn, though.
It's going to fail. What's the DC on it?
19.
He could pass. He did pass.
Oh.
I mean, I rolled a 19. What can I say? You're all seeing my rolls in this fight for once.
Are you
Yeah.
rolling the guiding bolt, John?
Yeah, I can.
Or Jillian? I rolled, so I don't.
I'll roll it.
Well, I just suggested it. I didn't realize anyone was waiting on someone to do that.
Well, which one's she
Yeah.
swinging at? Help me out.
Probably like the one fighting her friend.
That's a hit. Go ahead and roll the damage on that. she fires a guiding bolt for 14 points of radiant damage into the back of the barbed devil for a blinding flash of light. Bellamy gives a thumbs up. Do it, Isaac, you can finish him.
I think
Bonus action. Should we do an unsettling words instead of a bardic inspiration?
Unsettling words is nice.
Yeah, let's do unsettling words on a chain devil? I don't think that's gone yet. Or it's, it would must subtract a number rolled from the next saving throw it makes before the start of your next turn.
I put a scary face on it so we know.
Unsettling words.
it's shocked.
I'm just pulling the dead guys off the map.
And then where would Bellamy go? Probably closer to everyone. Like there, probably.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Bing.
Oh, damn it!
I did it.
It brought up the search bar thing. I'm going to need to change that. Opera.
No, what just to confirm, what you should be doing is like using the measure tool, click and drag, hold control, click once, and then like hold the control button down and then space.
Yeah, control space is bringing up this weird browser specific.
What
thing.
browser are you on?
Trying out Opera GX.
Oh
Okay.
God!
The browser for gamers with a Z.
Jeez. Let me go. I don't care if it gets all
Gaming
my Random
browser.
spirit.
It's actually it's
Oh
not
my
too
God.
bad when you're playing D&D and stuff like that. 'Cause Discord and all your chat apps are just they're like in a pop-up panel beside it, so you only need to have like one application running.
I feel bad though for like Opera, like this is where they are now. Like, I remember old Opera. I remember pre-Chromium Opera.
And I've found a few games in the kind of launchpad it's got. It lets you know what games are free and stuff like that. So I got a bunch of stuff for free for
Like, looking at it, it's a neat concept. It's just this feels very like not like how to put it. This is like a big departure from what they used to be, right? Like,
I've absolutely no context for them before.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, to give you the quick rundown of what's going on here at the end, the Ice Devil, the one that's turn is next, was up here in the corner, moved down to fight the house with the bramble that appeared in front of it, pulling its attention away. We then roll around to Isaac's turn.
Wouldn't it take damage from the start of its turn when being in the thorn?
Questions.
I believe anything that starts its turn there does take the damage. So if you wanted to roll that one up, because they took it last turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you, Wall of Thorns?
On Isaac's turn,
Well,
he's going to look at the
if-
barbed double in front of himself, tilt his head to the side, and said, "Fools, what fools ye mortals be, thinking you can stand against true power." He leans in, the barbed double looking somewhat shocked as it's regaining some of its senses, and Isaac whispers something, and the light fades from the devil's eyes. His body collapses, and he falls to the ground quite dead.
Kind of weird that he refers to himself as refers to other people as mortals, but you know, it is what it is.
I'm wondering if the word he whispered was die, but you know.
Our word kill dropped it on the enemy, immediately annihilating and snuffing out its life.
I think we need to end its turn there, John.
Okay.
Not
Not start, it's end the turn. Okay.
yeah. It's
Opposite from most of them.
Yeah. These druids can't be simple.
Alright, my apologies. I just
Yep, it's
No,
one of
this
the
is-
few as well that tags immediately, which is nice. I gave it a
Yeah.
quick double read on the full spell to make sure. But we are definitely good to go at that point. And whoever Isaac has just killed off the barbed devil with a single shot. Looking towards the rest of the battlefield with a bit of a chuckle. The other ice devil looks around, but since it's cut off from the party and hasn't been directly attacked, continues its search through the house. Having already been pushed out of the thorns, it has nothing to worry about. The remaining chain devil, somewhat confused and somewhat flabbergasted, is going to charge Bellamy. Making 2 attacks with its chains against her. I don't think those are going to hit with the minuses that it has, though, because she's got 23 AC, so those are both misses, as the chains ricochet off her back, and she looks back and says, "Oh, well, isn't that fun, weirdo?"
So it gets to make that intelligence save, but that save is minus a d8 because of the
It can't win.
Oh, does it? Oh, does this save itself have the minus?
Well, it's because of the unsettling words. It subtracts the number rolled from the next saving.
I'm just, what? I'm just curious about something when I'm just scrolling up. Synaptic,
Like, he's got so many
ability
negatives, he
checks.
can't pass
Okay.
any of these. Like, that's pretty much it for him. And John, your turn before you run out of time. I kind of gave a
Alright.
little push on the other ones leading up with all the NPCs and stuff.
yeah, we're gonna fly over there, and we're just going to swing my holy sword.
So you give a roll. They only have 16 AC, so you can pull the math on
So-
that pretty feature.
I have to roll a.
Big damn heroes. Still big
I
damn
rolled a
heroes.
1 and a 3.
Really risking it, but okay. See, clip them.
29 and 32.
Oh yeah, they clip. And 29
That's
and
the
32
damage.
points of damage.
Did it die?
I'm just checking its resistances. That is enough to kill it off.
Okay.
As you annihilate the chain devil between the group of you all. Which would roll us over to the next turn, but there's not too much left in combat, it seems. However, you see a form coming through the shadows, through the darkness. One that catches Isaac's eye as he turns and just gives a slow chuckle. He's like, "Oh, this is too perfect." Because you see the face of a familiar planetar, crazed and angry, stumbling through the smoke, extending its hand out as it roars. You might remember this planetar as the same one that was already killed. But now you're meeting it again, but it's in the past, so does that really count? Might have to wait till
if we
next
can-
week to find out.
If we kill it now, does it kill us? Does it come back in the future?
Now, normally I'd stretch the time, push it a little further, and we get another turn out for Kieran. John did
But-
say he has to go.
yeah.
We're already 8 minutes over, and I don't want to push my luck.
And
But Kieran,
I-
unless you
I-
had a specific plan or wanted to wait till
No,
next week.
it's. Oh, but you can wait till next week because I also have to do a couple errands and I have to do my own prep for my own game later today, anyways. So
Exactly.
it'd be good to get
Perfect.
things.
So that's a nice little spot for us to lay off for the week, as all hell is breaking loose and the
Yeah,
DM has
I'm just
decided-
gonna. Sorry, Alan. I'm just gonna dip out really quick. I just have to run to the bathroom. But
No,
thank you
no,
very
pick
much
up
for the
right
game, and
now.
I'll see you guys later.
Great
Yeah, no,
game.
I'm right now is what I'm saying. Okay,
Go,
bye
go,
guys.
go. Later, Jillian.
Have
You
a
go.
good one.
Come on.